Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, legionnaires of all ages, welcome back to Take Over the Table. I am Nick the Geek. I am, as always, joined by one of my co-conspirators, my co-compatriots. I'm joined by the Captain. Captain, how the hell are you?
Oh, it's been a week. It's been a month. This morning, I actually got up and made homemade beef stock and put together.
Nice.
I'm making Guinness stew for dinner. So the
Look,
stew is
steak
down
and
there.
ale pie, lad.
Yeah, so the stew is down there simmering nicely. Been missing this. Also, before we went live, we were working on details for
we're going to announce that now, actually.
Oh,
do you want to do the honors? Do you want to do the honors?
Yeah. So Nick and I started out at the old organization, and always loved working with Nick. And an idea I had for a show 2-3 years ago that never came to fruition, I pitched to Nick a few months ago, maybe even 6 months ago at this point.
About 6 months.
And finally, all the cosmic tumblers are falling into place. So we're going to be doing something that's a little bit different. We're going to be doing a biography show. But we're going to take different wrestlers and we're going to do anywhere from 4 to 5, roughly, at 3 to 5 episodes on each wrestler, basically covering the early part of their career, sort of the peak era, and then the latter era, with some, pluses and minuses here and there, because not every career trajectory is the same.
Exactly.
But over the course of 3 to 5 episodes, each one being about 2 hours each, fit, as many matches into each one as we can to cover an era.
Yeah.
Should we announce the actual list or just go with the one?
No. We'll just tell them what we're starting with for now.
Well, it should come as no surprise between us two who we're going to begin with. The man they call Sting.
Indeed.
So starting, I believe, August 10th.
Correct.
Saturday, August 10th. Hey, actually, my grandmother's birthday and the second ever pay-per-view ever ordered. WCW. Actually, no, that'd be the fourth one. Anywho, the first ever Hog Wild Road Wild shitting in buckets. But yes, so episode 1, me covering Surfer Sting Part 1. Basically, Surfer Sting, there was 2 eras. There was late 80s, early 90s, then early 90s into mid 90s. But the matches we have narrowed down for episode 1. Can't talk about Sting without talking about the epic Clash of Champions. Him versus Flair, 45-minute Broadway world title. A masterclass in how a perfect, well-talented vet puts over a new young talent, and in 1 hour you've made a superstar.
We've also, of course, you can't talk about Sting versus Flair without talking about Great American Bash 1990.
The epic rematch.
The epic rematch where Sting wins his first world title after coming back from a bum knee. This is
which you believe is the best. You think that's?
I do believe that's the better match. I do honestly believe it's the better match because I believe that Sting had found his feet by 90 and really knew what Flair wanted him to do in the ring, whereas he did marvelously in 88. But I think by 1990, he'd really found his feet.
Well, the change was supposed to happen in February. It didn't happen until July. Sting got hurt. They tried to get Flair to drop it to other people. It's like, no, I promised it to Sting. It's going to Sting. Also, not a surpriser. Oh,
yes. No, just so people know, the show will work in the form of a watch-along. So as we're watching the matches, you can watch us along with us. But we're going to do our best to ram as much information about said wrestler, in this case Sting, down your throats as we possibly can. I am a relative.
We are skipping the Blade Runner period. We
Yeah, we are. We will talk about it.
We lost that Memphis footage. Sorry.
Yeah. Right. We'll talk about
Jerry
it.
Jarrett, horrible record keeper.
Yes. But that's, as we said, it starts on August 10th. It's going to be loads of fun. We have an incredible list of wrestlers' careers to cover. I reckon season 1 is probably going to be about 20 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be about 20 weeks done over. Do you want to do it while we're here? Do you want to do it every 2 weeks or do you want to do it every week?
Probably every 2, just because. Well, I would say at least football season's coming up. Sunday, we broadcast for 8 straight hours.
I know.
So every other Saturday, I'd like to catch a bit of a breather.
That makes sense. So we'll do it every other 2 weeks, starting August 10th. It's going to be a hell of a show. It's going to be a trip down memory lane for me and Cap, more than anything else. And I honestly hope that we can teach anybody that watches this that is not as much of a nerd as I am or as Cap is about professional wrestling, something about the old school eras that really can help you switch on to why that era of wrestling was so important and why that era of wrestling literally shaped what we have today.
Yes.
But on to more up-to-date matters. We will be joined at some point soon by our third co-conspirator, Matthew Laws, but he's running a bit late because of work, I believe.
Yeah, he works on Sundays.
Today, we are watching NXT TakeOver. We are watching 2 NXT TakeOvers to be precise, because I have been on holiday and therefore I owe you people more of a show. So we are doing NXT TakeOver San Antonio, where we will be watching Robert Roode versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the NXT Championship. We will be watching Asuka versus Peyton Royce versus Billie Kay versus Nikki Cross in a 4-way for the Women's Championship. And we will be watching DIY versus the Authors of Pain for the Tag Team Championships. Then from NXT TakeOver Orlando, we'll be watching Bobby Roode versus Nakamura 2. Not telling you who wins the first one, so it's not a spoiler for you. We'll be watching DIY versus AOP versus The Revival in probably the best triple threat tag team match of the last 10 years. And then I believe it is... Oh, I've got it written down. I know it's Asuka versus somebody. Sorry, this is terrible on my part. There we go. Asuka versus Ember Moon in Ember's debut title match in NXT, which is a tremendous performance. So, Cap, do you want to do some shilling while I find the timestamp?
Do some shilling. Well, at the present moment, Raw Ball is on holiday. It has been an incredibly hectic summer, and then a few weeks ago, it got even more hectic. We are getting everything back together, though, for football season, which starts here in the U.S. That's our bread and butter. Thursday, September 5th, the first game of the season. And then obviously every Sunday, Raw Ball goes Red Zone for 7 hours of continuous NFL coverage. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But holy Moses, I'm getting excited for football. Baseball season, we're at the trade deadline. It's winding down. Well, not winding, I guess. Fantasy-wise, it's kind of winding down. Season-wise, it's heating up. So, yeah, right now it's pretty much baseball and pro wrestling. What are the Legionnaires doing for SummerSlam next?
We are watching it, my friend. We will not be doing a watch-along because the other two are too damn old and cannot... and cannot stay up late enough with me to do the watch-alongs. So we'll be watching SummerSlam on Sunday instead of watching it live. But we'll be doing a full review. We'll be doing a full review a couple of days after the event, probably on Monday. And then Takeover the Table is now back. As you can see, we are here. And I've got a couple of other ideas in the works, which I'm not going to reveal yet because I'm filling my plate quite fully. And I need to delegate a little bit because I will be starting, spoilers, a new YouTube channel soon off my own back, which is based on my gaming hobby.
Yes, I have heard some. Yes. Is it you and Maddie's?
No. That is Matty's other project that I'm working on.
Oh, okay.
That I am not talking about without Matthew's permission, except it is Dungeons and Dragons and Star Wars based, and it is absolutely incredibly fun.
You cannot get more nerd than that. That is the ape. That is, they call Randy Orton the apex predator. That is apex nerd. Yes, you mentioned we were talking about Sting and epic reveals. We're not going to be covering the Shockmaster, are we?
No,
Sting was involved in that massacre.
Yeah, yes, he was.
Poor baby.
Boy Smith. He fell on his bloody arse.
It was Owen. I wasn't even there.
Right. We cannot afford to wait for young Matthew any longer, Captain. So we shall get started. We are at 45 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm at 45:15.
Hang on, I'll tell you when I've caught up.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1, play.
So if I'm to understand this correct, being the NXT novice, well, not novice, I've gained a little bit of knowledge as this has gone on. This is considered like top 5 NXT shows.
Yes. And basically, the other matches we haven't watched on this was Roderick Strong versus Andrade El Idolo, which is an absolute masterclass.
I mean, the first thing I'm seeing is Paul Ellering, so you've got me there.
Yeah, I thought you'd be happy. That's why I picked this match. But it is Roderick Strong versus Andrade, which is an absolute masterclass, and Ty Dillinger versus Eric Young, both fantastic matches. Unfortunately, we've got to the point with takeovers where there are no bad matches on a takeover. Triple H had kind of perfected his formula at this point, 5 to 6 matches, all bangers, giving them all the right amount of time. It's the same formula he now uses for the pay-per-views, for the PLEs, for the main roster. But these two, with Ellering, the Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor, I cannot tell you which is which, are green as a gourd, Cap. Just remember, this is developmental. Right? That's what I always tell people. As great as these shows are, it is still developmental. But they are two horsemen.
They are big, absolute horses.
Mm-hmm. Big, beefy boys. Built like the Barbarian, the pair of them.
Mm-hmm. Where would you rank Paul Ellering on your list of great managers of all time?
Right. Well, number 1 is Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is Paul Heyman.
Heyman and Cornette are like, B1, B2. Yeah, they're duking it out right now for me.
Cornette's my number 3. And then probably Ellering, because even though Ellering, losing my earbuds, even though Ellering was really known for the Road Warriors more than anything else, that's not necessarily a down point.
No, the greatest tag team of all time is not a down point.
When you successfully manage arguably the greatest tag team in the history of the business,
and not just on screen manage, but he was their
actual manager, their business manager. Rocky was not his idea; it was Vince McMahon's.
I'm with you on the first 3, and again, Heyman, Cornette. I kind of, depending on the day of the week, I may move them ahead or behind each other.
Yeah.
4, I'm probably going to go Sherry Martel.
I'd agree with that.
And Ellering 5.
I'd agree with that.
And it's that would be my top 5.
Randy. Sherry's work with Randy alone in the mid '90s was
her work with Shawn Michaels, her work with Flair.
Everybody that Sherry worked with got elevated because of Sherry, and that's incredibly hard to do as a manager. You can be a side piece, you can be a piece of the puzzle of the team, but it's very hard to elevate your team as a manager. Like Paul Heyman undoubtedly helped elevate Roman Reigns.
Well, Savage had lost Elizabeth. Savage was already incredibly over. Sherry got him more over. Shawn Michaels, she got him over. Flair obviously was already as over as you can be. She got him more over.
She kept him relevant as well. Flair at that point, I think, was struggling because of mismanagement in the company to find his feet again, because he was really not being used in the correct role.
He had come back after the appropriate dismissal of one James Hurd.
The far too long in the teeth dismissal of James Hurd.
When I think of the 3 biggest enemies of professional wrestling in the last half century, I think Vince McMahon, I think Kevin Dunn, I think Jim Hurd.
This match, if it does one thing above anything else, is it shows how good Ciampa and Gargano are at working with big guys, especially Johnny Gargano.
These are what they would call big beefy boys.
Oh yeah, massively beefy boys. Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor, whatever you want to call them, have come along leaps and bounds since they were released and come back, which is remarkable because they barely wrestled after they got released. But at this point, as I said, they're green as a gourd. They are being led very successfully through this match by Gargano and Ciampa.
Okay, I just sent you the episode 1 and episode 2 match breakdown as we discussed.
Oh, brilliant!
In your Twitter box, so
brilliant! Thank you very much. Yeah, that works perfectly, mate.
All right, I'm the statistical nut nerd about ordering things and making sure we got our. Not that we're not working from a script.
There's one match when we cover Crow Sting that we have to watch. It's from 1999. It's off a Nitro. It's the night Sting won the world title versus DDP.
And lost it in this, yes.
In an hour later.
Yes. I mean, that's going to be, that will be.
That is Diamond Dallas Page.
2.0.
That is helping me prove my point that everyone got better by wrestling Sting. Because in my opinion, other than the Goldberg match, which Page did a marvelous job with, that's his best match in WCW.
His match with Sting is his best. Well, yeah, the matches with Sting and Savage. Yes, I mean, spot on. The match with Goldberg, that was Goldberg's best match he ever had, and I don't think it's even close.
Yeah. Then it's by far the best match he ever had, and it's all down to Page. And it was all down to Page after he learned from Randy and Sting.
Yes.
Because Page said it himself, he learned so much from Randy Savage when he wrestled him. Because how could you not learn from Randy Savage? Like, the man is just a fountain of knowledge.
Well, I mean, I was watching I guess like a marathon last night. Actually, no, it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever. Of Jake Roberts interviews and promos, like his
nice
best of, and it's like all these guys that are in AEW. It's like if you have access to Jake Roberts, that man, God. When I think the best promo guys ever, it's tough for me to not put him top 4.
I am actually going to give Tony Khan a compliment for a change. He's done something sensible. Paul White, the Giant, the Big Show, is now on AEW's board of directors.
I had not heard that.
I've just found that out 2 days ago. This is a very smart move, in my opinion. Paul has been around the business for 40 years. Nearly.
When you're the son of Andre.
Yeah. nobody knows how to work a big man match better than Paul White in this day and age. Except for Undertaker.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you there because I had a follow-up on our Gorg discussion there. People have called me a Kevin Nash mark for years, and I happily accept that.
I love Kevin.
To me, I think he got Goldberg's second best match out of him.
98.
Yeah, the Starrcade.
Yeah.
Again, the matches. Atrocious. Finish,
but good ass match. Right?
For one of Nash had 6 moves, Goldberg had 3 or 4, and they managed to make that thing work.
Well, I've said it for years. Kevin Nash took a bottle of Vidal Sassoon of 5 moves and made himself a millionaire. Right? And
his podcast is awesome. Click this. Absolutely love Nash's podcast.
Yeah, it's really good. You should go check that out if you don't, people. But no, back to this match.
This is this move he's got him in. It's not quite a traditional backbreaker. It's more of a almost a vertical tree of woe.
Yeah. Well, it's Johnny just does such a good job as being the guy to get beaten down, which I think is a rare skill in professional wrestling. It is difficult to get your ass kicked for 10 minutes and make it look like you can still move.
He has that Ricky Morton-esque ability to get his ass whipped and sell and get sympathy.
Yeah, very good comparison. Love Ricky Morton.
Well, you mentioned Tree of Woe. Best wishes to Kevin Sullivan, one of my all-time favorite bookers, minds of the business. He's still in bad health right now.
Yeah, all best wishes to Kevin. Hope you get better soon, mate.
When I make a list of, because of all the fantasy booking, and I look back at the bookers I tried to learn from, Kevin Sullivan was right up there with Dusty Rhodes.
Kevin's a great booker. He was a bit up his own arse at times, but sometimes you have to be. If you don't blow your own trumpet, nobody else will.
Well, and a lot of people, like you look at Hogan's first 2 years in WCW, people shit all over it. Well, Sullivan's hands were tied a bit, so he was making chicken salad out of chicken shit. But when he actually got Hogan to trust him, that he wasn't just going to screw him over, then you get the NWO, which even up to the night of, if you study the business, Hogan was still, Sullivan had Hogan staying at his house. It's like
that,
like, don't speak, like, don't talk to anybody. Don't get talked out of this.
Well, as we both know, Bischoff originally pegged it to be Sting.
Yes.
That'd be the guy that turned, which in my opinion would have been a horrible mistake. Look at that power.
Sting could lead WCW against this faction. Hogan was not going to be able to lead WCW against this faction.
And realistically, Hulk by that point had the golden years of his career as a babyface. Like, he was never going to be able to achieve the heights as a babyface in WCW that he'd already achieved in WWF.
No
way. It was
way.
Never going to happen. It was all the sense in the world turning. We'll cover this when we get to the biography show anyway.
Well, speaking of his golden era, you remember when he was actually working for Ole in Georgia? Ole gave him the name Sterling Golden.
Absolutely brilliant.
God, Ole Anderson. One of my least favorite bookers, but my God.
And will forever be known as the voice of the Shockmaster.
Ole was so full of shit, but he had been such a great worker, such a successful booker in his era.
Oh, yeah.
And he could cut through the bullshit so well on so many things.
He did have a unique ability to find the truth, shall we say.
And this another match that, that is lost sometimes in tag team matches these days. Not every team is the Rock and Roll and Midnight Express. Not every team is, Rockers.
Tully and
Arn. You can have, two teams of medium-sized guys if they're great workers. You can have this, which is a team of big dudes versus a team of little dudes. What you cannot do is have, Road Warriors versus Doom. It's just, it's rock hitting rock.
Well, I kind of feel sorry for DIY at the moment.
You think they're going to be forced to drop the belts?
Yeah, because it's Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga that are challenging them. And for the sake of the current Bloodline storyline, the Bloodline need to win those titles. Jacob cannot be losing a match like this close in to getting his debut. They could get disqualified. Jacob could lose his mind and they could get DQ'd. That I'd be fine with. But Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga should not be losing a tag team match this early into their run for the titles in any way.
I would say Ciampa and Gargano, if given enough time, could put them over very well.
Oh, yeah. Like, very well. Realistically, it needs to be more than one match, in my opinion.
Do you think we get do you think Roman returns and costs Solo?
No. I don't think he interferes in the match at all. I think if Roman returns at SummerSlam, he's going to save Cody. To protect his investment. Because Roman, realistically, other than sorting out the new blood,
right,
as I am dubbing them, or Bloodline 2.0, really only wants one thing. because he informed Paul Heyman that the Bloodline were to keep Cody Rhodes in check until Roman came back to get his belt back. So
and he still has his rematch clause that he has not exercised.
Correct. It would behoove Roman to assist Cody if Cody is getting the piss beaten out of him by the Bloodline, which can then lead to Bloodline 1.0 in the form of the Usos and Roman Reigns with Sami Zayn versus Bloodline 2.0 of the Tongans, Jacob Fatu, and Solo Sikoa in War Games at Survivor Series.
Which I think we all could see coming when this...
Oh, yeah. Like a mile off.
Which is fine.
It'll be great. It'll be a great match. But that then leads to the tease of Cody and Roman 2, as opposed to just giving it away straight away, like AEW is such a criminal for doing. Build it slowly. Get to WrestleMania. Night 1, you do Cody versus The Rock. Night 2, you do Cody versus Roman.
I was going to, just because I am not a Rock the Dwayne fan, to quote Danhausen, I would prefer to see Roman Cody at Rumble, and then Cody versus whomever wins the Rumble at Mania.
Yeah. Which should be Gunther, but Gunther's going to be World Heavyweight Champion after SummerSlam, so...
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because I honestly don't think there's a babyface in the company that could work as well with Gunther as Cody would. Like, Cody gets how to work with bigger men that are heels incredibly well. He always has.
He does.
And I think him versus Gunther would just be a phenomenal storyline. Gunther talking about the fact that he doesn't need family lineage. He doesn't need a prestigious name. He doesn't need any of this because I'm just that good.
Which he is.
Which he is. Gunther is near enough, damn it, the perfect wrestler.
I'm still... I know it's the Cody heel turn. It's got to be coming.
No. Cody Rhodes will not turn heel until there is no other choice.
No, I agree. My thing is, when Roman comes back, Roman's going to be over like Rover.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking, there's so many little intricacies and ways that could be done.
Here's the other option. Roman doesn't need to be on SmackDown when he comes back. Do you remember the draft?
Yes.
The Bloodline were drafted to Raw.
Correct.
Well, Roman was part of that Bloodline until Paul Heyman removed him from the draft. If Roman is going to fix things up with Jimmy and Jay, he needs to be on Raw.
Which to me is taking a bit of a page out of Hart Foundation 2.0 when Brett made it a point to reconnect with Davey and Owen.
Yeah.
Then you added in Pillman to the mix, which was genius.
Which in this case will be Sami Zayn.
And Anvil, just because, you know.
No,
as Stu would say, Vince, you think you could get the Rhino a job there? Damn it.
That was AOP versus DIY part 1. What do you think?
I liked it. It was done the way a match between, again, 2 big dudes versus 2 little dudes should be done. I have no complaints with the match at all. Booked well, finish was good. Everyone got, you know, the appropriate spots in. Gargano sold brilliantly. Although I do have to say, you guys were telling me throughout this whole enterprise, Cap, you're going to start to love Ciampa. You're going to start to love Ciampa.
No.
Ciampa.
Cap. Not yet. The tag team will make you appreciate Tommaso Ciampa's work rate because he's a tremendous worker. And then what I'm not going to spoil
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, Maddie and I, he when he was down here, he and I did watch a Ciampa Gargano. It was like either an I Quit or a Falls Count Anywhere.
Was there a truck involved? Did they fight on the back of a lorry?
Not that I recall, but also many beverages had been imbibed that night. I enjoyed the match, but it wasn't like they went around the building and did some things.
Yeah, that's the one with the truck. That's the worst match. That's their worst match. Unfortunately, Matty showed you their absolute worst match. It is dog trash.
How old is El? He's got to be in his 70s now.
Paul, I think he's 69.
I can still never get enough of Paul Ellering. I wish he's one of those guys that kind of like Jake Roberts that, well, when Jake came back in 96, they attempted to put him on the booking committee, which worked out just pleasantly. Apart from him saying, hey, this guy Austin, that's your next superstar. Let me, put him over, which Jake's one great contribution to his days as a booker with Vince. It's like, I wish Paul and Jake Roberts had been on more booking endeavors.
Jake Roberts would have been the best thing WCW ever hired as a booker until Jim Herd showed up.
Yeah, I mean, well, see, Roberts went over in 92 against Sting, the Texas glove, coal miner's glove. Oh, God, yeah.
Where the mini Cobra bit his face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that wasn't a bad match. It's just it wasn't nearly as
Jake
good.
Was in terrible shape.
Yeah, and Jake was. It's tough with Jake. It's tough to see, like, okay, at what point was he physically out of his prime, or was he mentally out of his? At what point was it physical? At what point was it the substances kicking in? Because the promos were always good, but it's like 92 to 96 with Jake. It's like it's tough to pinpoint the moment at which like in The Simpsons, Lisa, you can see the actual moment his heart breaks in two. There's not a moment like that for Jake. You can't quite. It's a little fuzzy. Oh, we have.
Well, that's the thing. We have Seth Rollins. Basically, this was building up to Seth versus Triple H at WrestleMania.
Next is the 4-way women's match, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I deliberately picked this match because I am a huge fan of Peyton Royce. I think Peyton Royce and Billy Kay, the Iconics, were a tremendous team. I think they were chronically mishandled by WWE under the Vince McMahon regime.
What's the timestamp for the ladies match?
Hang on. I will get to it now.
God.
1 hour, 14 and 5 seconds.
Okay.
I am
enjoying so much Rhea's return.
It's tremendous. At the moment, SmackDown is suffering because as good as SmackDown is, Raw has the two hottest storylines in the company. In Punk and McIntyre.
And Rhea, Liv, and Dom.
Thrown into the mix, and Rhea, Liv, and Dom. And we all know that Dom is going to turn on Rhea at SummerSlam. He's going to side with Liv. Yeah. Jimmy called this over a year ago. So far, Jimmy laid this out to me over a year ago, and everything he laid out has happened. Near enough word for word, beat for beat. Near enough beat for beat, Jimmy's got this right. And I am completely with him that Dom is going to side with Liv because Dom is sick and tired of being the boy toy. Dom wants to be Pappy. And Liv is Daddy's little girl.
Puppy or Poppy?
She just has to change it to Poppy's little girl on the t-shirt, and you got money. Also, it can then lead to the match that everybody wants, which is Dom versus Rhea.
which I think that would be pretty awesome because Rhea, I would say, since China, the most convincing female worker that could work with the men.
Agreed. Completely agree.
Well, you mentioned Drew, Seth, and Punk. Is it just me, or are you getting SummerSlam 97 vibes? Sean hits Taker with the chair, tosses him the belt.
A little bit. But
I
as
am
they
getting
say,
August 97 vibes.
As the old saying goes, everything has a 7-year sell-by date in professional wrestling. After 7 years, it's brand new.
Which I think it's the exact date, August 3rd, 97. I think it might be the exact same date. Let me effort this because August 3rd, 97.
Yeah. So Triple H does like to play his greatest. Triple H and Shawn love to play their greatest hits.
27 years to the day.
Exactly. So it's 20 years past its sell-by date. It's brand new again. It's brand new again. And look at NXT currently. Shawn Michaels in NXT is just playing all of his greatest hits. All of the storylines that Shawn did in NXT, that Shawn did in his career, he's now playing out with other wrestlers in NXT. I'm just waiting for Trick Williams to lose his smile. Seriously, it works though, because it worked 27 years ago. It'll work now because the people watching now, for the most part, unlike nerds like us, are newer.
Yeah, well, they were kids watching this shit. Like, we can see the cyclical nature of a lot of this stuff, and that's not a bad. Pro wrestling is just like politics. Is just like anything. It's cyclical. And
well, it's the term is canticular storytelling. Canticular storytelling. It's a storytelling arc, basically. So a canticular storytelling, instead of being a circle, it's an egg.
Okay.
And you tell the story reaching up to the top of the egg. When you get to the top of the egg, you tell the story again, but you do it in reverse.
I've never read that theory.
No.
Okay. There's a phenomenal, like, if I was to like rank like top 5 books of all time for people to read, it's called The Fourth Turning, and it's basically how in history there are basically 4 different time periods that essentially repeat themselves over and over again.
Correct.
So I in wrestling I see a lot of, and it's pro wrestling. You know, we're not really doing anything new. We're putting in different people, and we're taking finishes, angles, things that have been done, but we're just updating them with new people, and you know it which is not a bad.
Hello,
thing.
Simon.
Simon,
how are you, sir? Right. Well, we have viewers, Cap. We better get on with this.
Yeah.
So, right. So in 3, 2, 1, play.
All right.
Right.
There's only so many ways to cook an egg. There's only so many ways to book pro wrestling.
Correct.
There are many, but you do have a finite number of things you can do.
No, it's a very famous saying that there's only 5 stories in fiction. Everybody just tells variations of those 5 stories.
Okay, Nikki Cross.
Correct.
I've always been a big fan of her, not a big fan of Nikki ASH.
No, that was awful.
Loving her with the Wyatt, I still call them the Wyatt family. I know they've got the Wyatt 6.
God rest them.
I've just always loved Nikki Cross for some reason, and I don't know why. It's. I haven't watched that many of her matches. I mean, I'm not really plus or minus on her work. I'm just kind of okay. I like her for some reason.
Nikki is fun.
I can't not like Nikki Cross. Like it's tough.
She's very fun to watch.
She has that girl next door appeal about her,
but she's crazy.
Yeah, but it's like that cute girl that lives next door that's just crazy enough that you're not about to let your dog piss on her lawn.
That's a good way of putting it.
And Scottish as well, I believe. Her and
yes, she is.
Piper Niven, both Scottish.
Yeah. Peyton and Billy were very new at this point. They'd only been in the company about 4 months.
I think this whole her being in the Wyatt family, I think her and Bo are going to be the two that are going to emerge.
Well, she's technically Abby the Witch. Now, there is one member missing from the group.
Well, I thought there was 5, but they left the 6th open as in tribute to Bray. Is what?
No. There is a member missing from the group.
Okay,
and it's Sister Abigail. It's Alexa Bliss.
Okay, I would be fine with. I would be fine with that.
Alexa spent more time working with Bray than most people on the main roster. He basically changed her whole career trajectory.
Yes.
Not necessarily for the better after she separated from Bray, but we'll see what happens. But I believe Alexa has a place in the Wyatt Six as Sister Abigail.
The others in there,
Rowan and Bo make all the sense in the world. Bo being Bray's brother, Eric being an original member of the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
However,
I don't see Rowan getting over any more than he already is. I see Bo possibly getting far more over. I see Nikki elevating herself. Who's the other? The white hair. He stalked the Miz.
Dexter Lumis.
Dexter Lumis.
He's terrible.
I don't.
He's awful. He's in the group because they needed a creepy guy.
I wanted for so long to see him do something, but it's just like, dude, it's just like they're.
Joe Gacy did some tremendous work in NXT, so I'm willing to wait and see how Joe Gacy gets over as a member of the group. But you know me, Cap, I love spooky bollocks in professional wrestling.
As do I. When it's done well, and they're doing it well so far.
They are doing it well so far. The whole bit with Chad Gable has been brilliant. The fact that the other week when Chad was beating the piss out of him in the corner and Bo just started laughing in his face and saying, "There you are."
Yep.
It was brilliantly done because that's exactly what Bray would have done.
Are they doing Bo and Gable at SummerSlam?
Not announced yet.
1, 2. I'm looking at the card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they have 7 matches announced for SummerSlam.
That'll probably be the lot. I mean, I could see them possibly squeezing another one in, but knowing Triple H, you'll probably just stick with the 7.
Well, I was thinking Gable, great of a worker as he is, would be the guy to get Bo over in his first match as leading this new faction.
I would agree with that, but I would also
get him over between the ropes.
That's the thing. Bo Dallas is an incredibly underrated worker. You didn't watch NXT, but Bo Dallas was NXT. He was the second NXT champion. He beat Seth Rollins, and for
I've
a while,
seen less than a handful of Bo's work.
Well, Bo ran this gimmick where you've got to Bo leave, and it was incredible. It was so entertaining. Bo fully stuck into the gimmick, was 100% involved, and if he can take that kind of dedication over to what he's doing now, then the ring work's secondary.
Well, he doesn't, again, he doesn't have to be Lou Thez to get over.
No.
He just needs to be good, be good between the ropes, and then let the other aspect. Well, and I mean, not to compare here necessarily, but when Taker first started, he was greener than grass, but he learned, and over the course of 5, 6, 7 years, he had become the work caught up to the character, and then he just took both into the stratosphere.
Exactly. Nikki's great.
I love Nikki and I love Asuka.
The way she just spent the last 5 minutes shouting at Asuka in Scottish, because it's not English, it's Scottish. It's a totally different language. Even though it's not. No. Literally, if a Scotsman speaks English, you'd bet. Drew McIntyre is what I like to call American Scots.
Okay.
He's been in America for so long, he's lost some of his accent.
Which can happen.
If you're a Glasgow, mate, Glasgow, you'll speak like that all the time. You don't understand a fucking what they're saying because they go so fast and you don't understand what they're saying. They're always saying. That's somebody from Glasgow.
I do think of Robin Williams, his take on golf. It's like, if you ever want an adventure, go drinking with a Scotsman. Because you couldn't fucking understand him before. Oh, R.I.P. Robin. Oh, God.
Crying shame.
What when I think of that, I think of Braveheart and Mel Gibson speaking Scots English, if that's a way to put it. It's like, I can't. Love Braveheart, but Mel Gibson doing his best Scots impersonation.
It's horrendous.
Yes.
Pardon me. Oh.
How tall is Nikki? She's
5'4".
Okay.
She's 1 inch taller than Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I was thinking somewhere in that category. So do you think they save, if they go that route, do they save Rhea and Dom for Mania?
I hope so. I really hope so. Though if it was me, I'd do Rhea and Dom in the next Australian pay-per-view.
Could do it that way. Also, I was thinking eventually in that storyline, you're going to get the mixed tag where it's going to be Dom and Liv versus Rhea. And I would guess Priest.
Yeah. It's got to be Priest.
Or Finn.
But also, you see, there is the mystery in all of this. Is Finn Balor. Was Finn Balor working with Liv all along?
It would be a nice twist because he's
the one who has the room card in his the room key in his pocket.
Babingo.
He's the one after Priest talked to him the other week went, whatever you say, boss.
Babingo.
They are dropping little hints about Finn, and I think it'd be great for Finn, especially give him some arm candy because he's such a good heel. Finn Balor is a phenomenal heel.
I mean, he's not going anywhere. He just signed an extension for the 5 years. 5-year extension, so he's not going anywhere. So they need stuff for him to do.
And Triple H loves him, so Triple H will book him. Finn is tremendous.
Anyone who can have the finisher that he does and never hurt anybody with it, that tells you something that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Especially the way he executes it. Because, I mean, the other best stomp in the industry is Swerve Strickland.
Mm-hmm.
But they do it completely differently. Swerve, when he comes down, hits your shoulders and lands with his feet on the mat. It's the safest way to possibly do it. Finn lands on your chest. And he's never injured anybody, as you say.
Yes. I mean, any gastroenterologist would see that and think, well, this man's intestines have just been turned to cream.
Yeah. Oh, random WrestleMania news. Triple H was in London the other day.
I saw that. Do you think it's going to happen?
Well, I have a theory.
Okay.
In 2026, SummerSlam is a 2-day event.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's made SummerSlam a 2-day event, so you Yanks still get your 2-day Super Show. Because in 2026, WrestleMania is going to be elsewhere. Whether it is England or Saudi Arabia, I do not know. But I believe in 2026, WrestleMania will be held for the first time outside of America. And that's why SummerSlam has been made a 2-day event in 2026.
Do you think, I mean, here was a theory I had going back to WrestleMania 2. Do you think they would do a split city? One night's in London, another night's in America.
I think that might work, especially considering the size of the roster now, so you don't need them both on both shows. But I'm not sure if Triple H would do it. because
I mean, it worked out so well in '86. They did 3 cities.
That the overheads now would be so expensive to run a super show in America as well as a super show in London day after day.
But yes, Mania, and you would still, I mean, you would still rake in cash hand over fist.
Oh yeah, easily rake in cash.
And Nikki just took a bump to the table.
Yeah.
One thing that I have gathered from watching so many of these NXT shows with you is just how many people Vince screwed when he brought him up to the main roster.
Oh,
it's like
it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. DIY, Finn Balor, Andrade, Bobby Roode, Drew McIntyre for a large period of time.
Nikki.
Right? Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce, Billy Kay, Oscar for a large period of time. It's just
Finn got hurt, which is kind of a 50.
Vince then labeled him as injury prone.
Yeah.
It's like he's been hurt once in 15-year career. I don't think that makes him injury prone.
Hey. Well, Keith Lee, potentially another one you could throw into that list. Though Keith Lee, AEW, you ever tried to solve a Rubik's Cube that you think has just been gimmicked? AEW is like a Rubik's Cube that I think has been gimmicked. I cannot figure out what the fuck Tony Khan is doing.
Cheap plug. Myself and Jimmy do a show called AW Boom or Bust every Thursday night, 1 a.m. UK time. We'll be back this week. Sorry, we were away the last couple of weeks because we've both been on holiday. But we review Dynamite every week now. And did you watch the Will Ospreay MJF match?
Indeed, I did.
What do you think?
Loved it. I thought it was the best thing AEW's done since MJF and Punk.
Why was it on free TV? All In is literally in a week and a half. And they are having the rematch at All In. So why not do the match at All In? And on top of that, if Max was going to win, if you knew Max was winning the title, which you must have done, it's a professional wrestling company, right? You know the results of the matches before they happen. Why have them bust their asses for 59 minutes and 58 seconds on free television? Your top guy who's just come back from injury versus your new top guy, right, who hasn't got hurt yet. Right? I thought the match itself was a great piece of work, but I thought it was totally pointless and a waste of time. And it took place on the worst episode of Dynamite I've ever watched.
It's like a shining diamond sitting on top of a cow pie.
It was not good. It was a bad idea. It was executed poorly. The idea that Will is now just going to win the title back off him in Wembley so Will can get a big victory in front of a hometown crowd is ludicrous. Because Will Ospreay proved when he lost to Swerve Strickland that he believes losing to the correct people is the right thing to do.
Well, yeah, that's in this business. That's what you do. It's not whether you win or lose. It's how you do it and who you do the business with. That makes it. I mean, Disco Inferno, I hate to use a bad example here, didn't win a match for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
But he always would work a good match and would get put over with the right people, even in a losing effort. It's W's and L's aren't the big thing. It's how you do it.
It's how you present yourself in those matches and how you present yourself after those matches. Everyone needs to remember that professional wrestling is a performance art at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And art is, what's the word I'm looking for? Secular.
Yeah. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yes. As It's about how you are presented, not if you win or you lose.
Correct.
As Austin proved against Brett at WrestleMania 13, you can get super more over in defeat than you can in victory.
Well, and also he also lost to Brett at Survivor Series 5 months prior to that, where he more or less he cost himself the match by trying to use the $1 million dream. Brett did the famous kickoff that he's used against Piper at WrestleMania 8. But eventually, and see, the thing is, Austin never got a W over Brett, but because he just tormented, tortured, beat the hell out of, did everything he could to the Hart family, he got over because it was how he was presented. Yes, Brett would get the W in the ring, but Austin would just make life a living hell for him every single week.
Every single week. And it works. It works. It's how you are presented, not how you win or lose matches. And I think that's being lost in AEW. I'm wearing the All In shirt from last year, for God's sake. I love AEW.
Are you going to Wembley?
No, am I hell? I'm going to Wembley to watch the Anthony Joshua Dubois boxing match in September. But I'm not going for All In because it is not worth it.
Well, no CM Punk this year, obviously.
No, last year was a spectacle because it was the largest crowd in British wrestling history since SummerSlam 92. Even though they sold 82,000 tickets, only 72,000 showed up. But don't get me wrong, the arena was full, but you could see they could have fit more in. The staging was crap.
And they haven't sold as many tickets for this show this year.
No, they've set it out for 50,000 people, and they sold just over 45.
Yeah, that's about the numbers I was hearing.
Yeah, but the stage at All In was trash. It was just a black ramp with a black background with AEW All In written on it. It was awful. He positioned the ring 3/4 of the way down the football pitch.
Yep.
Instead of in the middle, which meant half the crowd couldn't see properly. Other than the actual wrestling and the spectacle, just wasn't worth it. It's not WrestleMania, mate, and it never will be. As much as Tony Khan wants it to be his WrestleMania, put it this way: you've been to Mania.
I've been to 2 Rumbles.
Okay, when you go for example, I've been to 2 Manias now, last 2 years. When you worked in Philly, or
Manny just got home, by the way.
Oh, awesome! When you walk in Philly or you walk in LA the last 2 years for WrestleMania, you couldn't go down a street corner without seeing a WrestleMania sign. There was merch everywhere. There was one sign for All In, and it was on the stadium. One sign. That's ridiculous. The merch stands were pathetic. This was the only decent shirt they were selling besides the Revival one. Sorry, FTRs. It's just, I would have liked to have gone again, but the ticket prices were ridiculous. They were more expensive than they were last year. And it's not America, but it's a long way to travel. I'd end up having to stay at my sister's and then get 2 trains and then get another 2 trains. So I'd be traveling for 8 hours. And I can't bother doing that. If I'm going to America to watch WrestleMania, it's different.
Do you think the overhead for AEW is so high that that's why they didn't do the amount of advertising?
No, I just think Tony thought, I've sold all the tickets anyway, so who cares? Because, like I said, the effort in the stadium was not there. When you go to Mania, the spectacle of the stage and the surrounding is there when you walk in.
You know you're somewhere.
It wasn't there for AEW. It was just, oh, look, there's a wrestling ring in the middle of Wembley. It's an unfortunate fact because I really enjoyed the show. I loved all the wrestling. I got to see Sting live, for God's sake, for the first time in my life. And he came out to Kill 'Em All by Metallica, my favorite Sting entrance music.
The Crow 2.0 theme.
Yeah, it was tremendous to a certain extent. I got to see Will Ospreay wrestle Chris Jericho. I got to see lots of banger matches. But the spectacle, Simon and my brother left before the main event because it was 7 hours long.
Yeah, AEW's got to fix that with those shows being
7 hours is too goddamn long for a wrestling show. If you're going to have a 7-hour show, do it over 2 days. Because that's what WWE have done. They ended up with an 8-hour WrestleMania and Vince went, nope, 2 days. Smartest move Vince McMahon ever made. Because now WrestleMania feels special again. It's a spectacle. It's an event. All In is just a show. It shouldn't be. It's a crying shame, but it's just a show. That's the sad truth. Which is why I'm not going this year. Right, anyway, we are at 134.29.
Let me get there. Well, right now I'm seeing the promo video for Shinsuke and Rude.
Yeah, 134.29. You should have a picture of Shinsuke Nakamura on the screen holding the title.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it could just be a difference between the network and the whatever. I just
got the promo 134.29.
Yeah, I'm at 136.18.
134.29. I actually want you to watch this promo package.
Okay, 134.29. Let me scooch them back here and get caught up. And actually give Maddie a bit of time to, if he is able to hop in, I'll visit.
He said he'd be here by about. Yeah, go for it. He said he'd be here for about half an hour in. So
134.29. All right, I'm right there.
All right. Now, he sent me a voice message. We're going to play this loud, people.
Boys, I am pulling into my apartment now. I will be in the StreamYard room as soon as fucking possible.
He's on his way. Yeah, ladies and gents. So, if you do enjoy Takeover the Table, please check out the new show. We haven't come up with a name for it yet. Like we say, it's going to be a biography series that is going through careers of wrestlers, match by match, year by year, decade by decade, episode by episode, to really give you a breakdown of who that wrestler was, the impact they had on the industry, and the impact they had on us as fans. It's been in the works for months now. We finally got everything nailed down. We know what matches we're going to do. We know what wrestlers we're going to do. And I believe... Hello, Matthew.
Hello.
Kat is just watering the plants.
No worries. It says you've been live for 1 hour and 3 minutes.
Correct.
Did I already miss the first part, or?
We are up to the main event of the first part.
Okay.
So we are at 134.29.
For San Antone, right?
Correct.
All right. Also, am I the only one that got mixed up? I could have swore that SummerSlam was supposed to be this weekend.
No, it's next weekend.
Okay.
It's definitely next weekend.
Well, I know now.
No. Matty, when you messaged me the other day saying just in time for SummerSlam, I was like, what is it, this week?
Dude, I saw a bunch of people talking about it, and I guess that got me thinking that it was literally right around the corner.
Fair enough.
Oh, did you did you get to show Cap the Seth Rollins bit at the beginning of the show?
It's halfway through the show, and yes, we did.
Okay, good. Was it? Oh, you're right. I thought it was during the pre-show that Seth.
No, it's after the DIY AOP match.
Okay. All right. What is the timestamp again?
1:34:29.
Let's go. And good afternoon, Cap.
Hello. Oh, that Guinness stew downstairs is smelling so.
Oh, don't. I'm starving, Captain.
I just got off work and haven't eaten today, so.
I haven't eaten today. And I was up till 7 a.m. watching UFC 304 from Manchester.
I heard a good show.
It was all right. Tom Aspinall absolutely smashed his opponent, so I'm a happy boy.
Well, I also heard that man does something absolutely insane by soaking his knuckles in gasoline.
Oh, no, that's a prank.
Regardless. That's a
It's
crazy
trolling.
thing to say.
Yeah, it's just trolling, mate.
Right. Oh, you said it's 134. What?
29.
Maddie, tomorrow is the trade deadline in our baseball league. Did you see the deal that Cap made today?
I did, and my co-host was like, "Yeah, I'll give him Ohtani." To be fair, he did grab 2 decent hitters. I say decent, and Zach Gallen just gets strikeouts.
Gallen's been a bit of a disappointment for me this year, but
He's been
I've got to try and make some kind of a run. I don't think I can win it all this year, but I've got to make some. Right now, I'm in a 3-way tie for 4th or 5th place with you. It's just like I cannot get over that hump.
Right, gents. Are we ready?
I'm
ready when you are, sir.
3.
Also, got
2.
Peacock Premium. No ads.
Nice. 3, 2, 1. Play.
So, Cap, what did you think of the first 2 matches of San Antonio?
Love the tag match. I thought it was booked just right for the way that match should go. The women's match.
It was chaos.
I told you I picked it deliberately.
Well, I anytime I get to see Nikki Cross and Asuka, I'm going to at least be satisfied. Because love me some Nikki Cross, love me some Asuka. The other 2 looked like cut rate Sherry Martells in their gear.
The Iconics.
In their first pay-per-view match.
To be fair, I think that was both of their first real big matches of their careers, because I don't think either of them did any independence before.
No, they'd both only been in the company 4 months at this point.
Those girls had immeasurable chemistry together. It is insane that they couldn't do anything with them.
It's because Vince is a pervert and didn't understand how funny they were.
Vince McMahon is a pervert? Show me some evidence.
Well, there's quite a lot of it rolling about at the moment, strangely enough.
Nick, well, let me just type away for a second.
There's a pending, federal indictment that was in the Wall Street Journal that's, fairly sizable.
Oh, so Cap, I was able to get a hold of Brett. I reminded him to sign up for the draft, and I also shot a message to Lucas.
Excellent. I just checked it 2 minutes ago. They still haven't, but
Brett is still currently at work. He's still got another 45.
Gotcha.
He's still got another 45 at the slot.
Oh, I'm ready for some football.
Bro, I cannot wait for football. We are less than 2 months away.
Ready for some fantasy football, some real football, some red zone Sundays, just watching football with my friends.
And I will be buying a throwback Broncos uniform, probably for Pat Surtain. And if that tells me anything, it's that he's going to be off the team.
Well, they're supposed to be wearing the retro unis, I think, 3 games this year that I read.
I saw only twice, and one of them is against you.
Makes sense. Raiders still have the same damn uniforms they had back in the 60s.
No, you guys used to have silver numbers. Now they're white. They cheaped out.
This robe that Rude is wearing reminds me of Flair's purple robe.
It's made by the same guy.
Girl,
sorry.
Yeah.
Look at Bobby the Godfather Rude.
That. The most underutilized man in the history of the main roster.
Of the main roster, yes, because Triple H knew exactly how to book his fucking son into
Yeah, his Canadian baby.
and what was it that Vince missed the boat with on him? I mean,
everything.
Everything. Vince said he's too old.
I'm just gonna make the burgers real quick. What do you have the eggs out for?
I mean, imagine this entrance at a WrestleMania.
Exactly. Mate, this
only ever had one WrestleMania appearance.
Yeah. Random tidbit. This music was originally picked for his opponent.
This was originally supposed to be Shinsuke's music?
Correct. And then Nakamura heard it and went, and then he heard Rising Sun and said, I want that.
I cannot disagree with him there.
No, because this wouldn't have fit Shinsuke in the slightest. Fits Bobby perfectly.
This also led to some of the greatest little bits on wrestling Twitter between DIY and Bobby Roode called the Glorious Bombs.
Glorious Bomb. It was hilarious. Everything Roode does is bob on. His entrance, his in-ring work, his promo skills, the way he carries himself. The man screams world champion, and I do not understand why Vince McMahon couldn't see that.
Put the U.S.
title down, old pal. Hey, what's Brock doing? Ha!
Oh, dude, that I feel like that's exactly what would have happened too. If Bobby did win the title, they would have been like, "Hey, you've met Brock before, haven't you?"
Yeah. Brock wants his belt back. Oh, Matty, completely different subject. Did you see Comic-Con this morning?
Are we talking RDJ?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, yes. Very, very, very excited.
Very excited.
Especially having just seen the Deadpool movie.
No spoilers. I haven't watched it yet.
No, I will not give any spoilers. But after seeing that, knowing what they're doing with the Marvel Universe going forward, excited.
And I have no clue what either of you are talking about, so I'm completely unaffiliated here.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe, my friend.
Well, yeah, I mean, John's a huge Marvel guy. I know.
Just ask him how big a deal it is that Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom. I'm sure he'll chew your ear off for an hour.
Probably.
Well, here's the thing: is he playing? Well, he's going to be Doctor Doom. We know that.
Yes.
But he's
also playing Iron Man.
Tony Stark. Is it going to be Tony Stark, Iron Man?
Yes.
Becoming Doom.
Yes.
If that's the case.
No.
The excitement is.
He is going to be Tony Stark, Iron Man. He is also going to be Tony Stark, Doctor Doom.
Also, kind of, are we doing like?
Is this like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type thing?
No. It's a multiverse type of thing.
If it's based off of the comics that I remember reading,
it's not.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
It's not. Basically, I'll tell you after the show. It's not wrestling related. I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're just going to end up talking about Marvel Comics for the next 20 minutes, and that's not going to happen. I will move on to Star Wars, though, Matty. Really sorry I missed this week's recording.
Oh, dude, you're good. You're good. All we did was just get a D&D campaign kind of kick-started. So if you want to make a D&D 5e character, go ahead and get with Fez. Sweet. And we'll be able to work with that.
All I heard from that Enterprise was that Nick is basically playing a Bond villain while everyone else is playing Star Wars D&D.
Pretty much.
I'm so far out of the loop there. I have no clue.
Once we start getting enough content to start putting it out, you'll see the vision.
Yeah.
I have not played any kind of MMORPG since World of Warcraft and like.
I currently am playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah, still doing your weekly raids?
No, left the guild.
I love my guild I was in, but it was great for the time it lasted, but it fell apart as quickly as it came together.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened to me.
I was about to say, are we talking of future endeavors or just people not being able to make it?
I futured endeavored a lot of people.
So you played McMahon?
Yes. Essentially. But no, we're in the process of building new characters before the War Within expansion drops on August the 6th. August the 6th.
To give you an idea of how far behind I am on that, Nick, the last expansion I took part in was Lich King.
Oh, number 3.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, you've missed the following: Mr. Pandaria, Warlords of Draenor, Legion, Battle for Azeroth, Shadowlands, which is a pile of trash, Dragonflight, and now the next one is the War Within that's coming out this year.
So 7. So my warlock that I had that was like level 78 would basically just be piss water at this point.
No, your gear would. But if you logged on your old account, if you logged on your old account, you would get a load of free upgrade gear.
I have not logged on to that account in almost 15 years.
The amount of gifts you would get then, Cap, astronomical.
Yeah. You would literally be given mounts, everything.
I loved Warcraft, but I loved it too much. It became such I was that dude that just sat at his desk.
Oh no, I've had friends that a few years back got fully addicted to it. The thing is, I'm medically retired and have nothing else to do. So with the exception of doing this show and everything on this channel, I got nothing else to do but play games, which is why as I said earlier, cheap plug, will be launching my own streaming channel soon.
Oh, let's fucking go, Nick.
Yeah, be launching my own game streaming channel soon, where it will be me, my brother, and a friend of ours called Chris, 3 old men who are noobs playing World of Warcraft.
Well, I wouldn't say you guys are noobs. I mean, you're noobs to other games.
Yeah, I'm not. They are.
And also, Maddie, starting August 10th, Nick and I's new show will debut.
Ooh.
Yes, you missed the news.
Things coming.
We need a name for it because
we do need a name for it.
A&E kind of has the whole biography thing.
Yeah,
cinched up.
I mean, you guys can still go with boozing through time, the wrestling rewind.
No, because we're not getting drunk.
Cap might.
I don't even touch the hard stuff anymore. I stick to my American piss water these days.
Right. I only drink when I'm with my sister.
Yes. And how was that vacation, by the way, my friend?
50% terrible. 50% amazing.
Most vacations tend to come out that way, don't they?
Yeah. Like we went out to some random nightclub, which I've not done in years, and I spent way too much money.
Nick,
that tends to happen.
A club?
Yeah. Yeah, the club has just had. It's really not.
Like you.
It used to be me. Like 20 years ago, it used to be me. But I haven't done it for years, but my sister really wanted to go. So we went out, we had a right blast, danced like idiots, drank a tremendous amount of alcohol. So it was all right.
Well,
it was a nice club too.
John's birthday was Friday, and I did have 2 shots for his birthday. That was the first liquor I've ingested in months.
Good on you.
I don't think I've had a legitimate drink like that's not beer in a couple months. But then again, the Drunk Trivia Championship really kind of fucked that up for me for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just getting older, and it's getting harder and harder for me and my liver to function. If I indulge in anything much
Mate,
stronger than beer.
I have pickled myself over the years. Last Christmas, I was drinking 73% distilled whiskey from my sister's Romanian husband.
That's not whiskey. That is colored Everclear.
Yes, pretty much.
I was going to say clear petrol, but you know.
Yeah, pretty much. It did the job.
Yes.
Drinking what Alora's character drinks.
No, she drinks hyperdrive fuel.
Close enough. Shit.
It's not coaxium, dude.
Can strip the paint off of a tractor with that stuff.
Oh yeah, you can degrease an engine quite easily.
Although, when I was a much younger man, we had a family friend who, I don't know how he came about it, but he was able to procure legit mountain moonshine that an acquaintance of his made. And he used that stuff, apart from medicinal purposes, to make cough syrup with. And let me tell you.
Time out. Moonshine's got medicinal purposes?
Yeah, buddy.
Yes. He had this recipe for cough syrup that was basically moonshine, rock candy, black pepper. And you just let it all kind of ferment together. It'll stop your cough.
Stick some gelatin in there and you've got some gummies, mate.
It would stop your cough. It would stop a lot of other things too, but it would stop your cough.
Well, it'd stop you breathing, I imagine.
I can't feel my dick.
Well, that's when you have too many blue chews.
I can't feel it. What's this
like to point
weird
out-
sensation going down my leg?
That's called a stroke, Matthew.
I'm in love. Oh wait, no, it's a stroke. I love how Bobby Roode in that spot where he was, I've got the ropes. I've got the ropes. Get him off me.
Dude, he is such a natural heel.
He's so good at being a heel. He always was. And he works so well with Shinsuke. This is the first time they've ever met. It's the first match they've ever had. And they just look perfect. No reason to hide in the ropes except to be a heel. The crowd are cheering me too much. I need to fix this.
Well, whenever Hogan turned, did the heel turn, he did that in almost every match.
Yeah.
In the corner or the ropes.
He learned it from all of his villains.
Oh God, Maddie, did you see the interview with him I sent you from when he was on the Christian Broadcasting Network? I literally almost pissed myself. I was laughing so hard at his bullshit.
Was it the ones where he just told lie after lie?
Hello? I've got to ask you guys, as you're both American and the election's coming up, what's your opinion on dear Mr. Hogan supporting Trump?
Oh, bro. Well, first off, Cap is absolutely frozen, it appears. Nope, now he's back.
I'm back. I had to switch my network.
I don't ever do politics. That's not my
Wise.
thing.
Wise.
But what I will say is I've never seen so much dick riding than I have for Mr. Trump.
It is
Hogan is riding the spray tan baloney pony.
Yeah. Well, you've got to give Trump credit. From what Jimmy's told me, he's turned it into a business. He's got Trump stores in every city.
Oh yeah,
like,
he's got
selling
stores. He's got
for the election.
He learned it from Vince. Between a week ago, Hogan giving the keynote at the Republican convention, and then a few days ago, Trump saying, "Just vote in November. After that, you'll never have to vote again. Trust me."
Yeah. Right. I'd just like to point out there's something you don't see anymore: an old school leg scissors on the head.
No,
they always just kick out straight away, but this is used as a work point.
God, Shinsuke, I've always enjoyed his matches. He was such a good get for WWE NXT.
Vince butchered him. Like,
Add
if
him
you
to the
hear
list.
the crowd, you hear
we went through a sizable list earlier today.
Yeah, of how many people Vince screwed over from NXT.
No, it was well known that the moment you got called up, chances are
your career was over.
Like, to be honest, I am incredibly surprised with how long Otis has been in the WWE, including the fact that Vince had it for as long as he did still.
Oh, I agree.
I'm surprised
Vince
he has a job in the
fat
business.
guys. We are talking about the man that hired Mantar.
Yes,
Vince
and
like
the gobbledygooker.
You respect Hector Guerrero, goddammit!
And Duke Drosy and God, who was the plumber?
The plot.
TL Hopper.
Yeah.
I remember all of like the occupational gimmicks, like you said, Duke the Dumpster.
Do you remember Bastion
Repo
Booger?
Man,
Bastion Booger. Yep.
Wasn't he also Friar Ferguson?
Yep.
Yep.
What was Vince's weird fetish with occupational gimmicks?
It was the 90s.
Let us also not forget Isaac Yankem DDS.
I was just about to jump to Isaac Yankem.
Erwin R. Shyster.
What is the difference between a DDS and a DMD?
A what?
What's the difference between a DDS and a DMD? Because
a DDS, Doctor of Dental Science.
Okay, and what's a DMD?
Doctor of Medical Dentistry.
Yes.
Okay.
It's exactly the same thing, man.
It's the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing. You're just a dentist. I mean, not knocking anyone that's a dentist. It's incredibly hard to become a dentist. But they both mean exactly the same thing.
He's a dentist.
And up from dentist, you have orthodontist. And up from orthodontist, you have oral surgeon.
Yeah. He's a dentist, Janine. How far can he go?
Be all right. Stick him in a big red mask and he'll be fine in 10 years.
Yeah, or make him Diesel.
Diesel. That is Z on the card? Don't mention it. You went from Diesel to Diesel.
Isaac Yankem to Diesel to Kane, I believe, was the trajectory there.
Yep.
I mean, pretty much more straightforward than what happened with Nash himself.
Had Kane not worked, they were going to get rid of him. I mean,
dude,
Nash had to go through being Vinny Vegas. He had to go through being Oz. He had to go through being Master Blaster.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels manager.
Yeah, no. With Kane, that was one of those things that it couldn't have failed with the way that they built it up.
Oh, it could have. I mean, he had Paul Bearer managing him. He was working with Mark Calloway, but still, they could have mismanaged that poorly.
The only way that would have really, truly failed is if it fucked up on night one. Because the weird thing is with Kane, they found a way to throw the title on him quick, but not do what they did to the Fiend.
Kane only had his first title win was 24 hours. He won it. He debuted in October of '97,
and they didn't.
Won the first blood match against Austin.
What
then
I'm
lost
saying
it the next night.
Is they didn't do it in a way that devalued it like the way the Fiend got devalued after having the
WrestleMania.
Yeah,
or being set afire.
Well, the difference was the Fiend's character, as it was at the time. Bray said it himself before he passed away, God rest him, should never have been near the World Championship.
No.
And if he was near the World, should never have been near the World Championship. And then to have him lose to Gorg.
Oh.
was
And the
so
way
dumb.
that it happened, too. And the last time that audience specifically saw Gorg, he landed on his fucking head after giving himself
Nearly died. Nearly died.
Speaking of El Gorgonov, Nick, did you finish the 4-part Who Killed WCW series?
No, I haven't had time.
Oh, it was four parts, 4 hours long. Nick, you got to finish. I want to get your thoughts on it. If privately,
I will
just
finish it before I will finish it before our show starts in 2 weeks.
Because even if it's just privately, just because you and I grew up, well, I want your thoughts because we both went through that whole shit mess.
Yeah, we did.
I thought for the most part it was about, I would say, 80% well done. I thought they could have done a lot better in certain spots, but to me it should have been 6 parts instead of 4 because they just skipped over so much.
I thoroughly enjoyed episode 1, but it did feel like they missed a lot.
Yes,
like a lot of the, especially early WCW when WCW was at its peak, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, parts 3 and 4 they did a really good job on. 1 and 2, if I was like, did you guys like miss like half of what happened?
What happened in 1992?
When
Jim Herd? Well, no, Herd came about and God, they hired Jim Herd in like 91, 91.
I forget that the pacing of this match really kind of slows to a halt, but that's also Bobby Roode's heel MO.
He's very much like Triple H in that respect.
I love the pacing of this match.
No, he's a cerebral
world title match. It's
beats you down, works you slowly, grinds you into the floor, which gives the babyface a chance to sell like a lunatic and then have nice hope spots like this.
Now, Nick, I don't know, did you guys talk about this yet? Because era where we start getting more like, we started getting some full arenas type stuff a little bit earlier, but take a look, Cap, at how they do the presentation of the audience. All of the backlighting is out. The lighting of the ramp is out. The focus is on the ring.
Yeah. Well, we went on, I think it was episode or 2 ago, we mentioned how bring the house lights down so that the focus is on the ring, as opposed to Vince where he just puts floodlights on everything.
I mean, same thing in AEW. They put... I can say they didn't do it for the show that I was at, but I can also say that the show that I was at had less than 3K people there. But
well, they did it at All In.
What, the floodlights?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, y'all are in an outdoor arena. No,
doesn't matter. We don't need floodlights in an outdoor arena.
No, because the focus should be
on the ring. But unfortunately, Tony Khan put the ring 3/4 of the way up the pitch, so most of the Garage arena couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be going to All In August?
No. It's not
to your
worth
point,
the money, mate.
Well, so speak to your point that you made earlier, Nick, about why they did what they did with MJF Ospreay on TV. Maybe this time they're going to go 90. It's like, maybe they're going to do I don't. MJF Ospreay, that's the.
It's an MJF
first good
match.
thing
Didn't they do him versus Cole at All In, and that went 60?
Last year was the main event, and that was a 54-minute match.
It was 54. I thought it went 60, and they went. They asked for extra time.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, they did.
I want to say it went 60. They asked for extra time.
As I said to Cap before, it was a 7-hour show, Matty. It's very hard to remember.
No, dude, I completely understand. I just remember that being the one match that really stood out because the ending of it was like so lackluster.
Oh, it was stupid.
The power of friendship ends All In.
Yeah, it was so dumb.
That should have been when they had Cole turn. Because if that was when they had Cole turn, guess what? He wouldn't have been fucking hurt.
Nope.
Between the Bucks, Jack Perry,
Don't swear on this show.
So, no, okay. So here's the thing. Perry is doing
EVPs
one
just
thing.
have way too much power.
The one thing
Thank
I will
God
say
for
about
Kenny
Perry,
Omega.
the one thing I will say about Perry is he's coming around a little bit more to me because the amount of shit he will take.
As a CM Punk fan, I should hate him, but I don't. What I do hate is last week in Blood and Guts, him copying the 1996 Raven Tommy Dreamer chair shot angle.
I just didn't like that he took an unprotected chair shot with his hands cuffed behind his head, behind him.
That is literally the problem.
That's what I didn't like. But
ridiculous.
he was willing to take it. He was willing to take it, and the person that swung the chair is the one person I would probably trust to swing that chair in Mark Briscoe.
There is no level of intelligentsia in taking an unprotected chair shot like that. I cannot.
Did you see Meltzer trying to cover? Did you see Meltzer trying to cover it up too? They shaved the chair down. It was a gimmick chair. Bitch, they're all gimmick chairs.
Yeah, every single one of them is a gimmick chair. It's still solid metal hitting your skull.
Even if you shave it
Meltzer
down,
is such. He is. Earlier I said, Vince, Kevin Dunn, Jim Herd, 3 biggest enemies to pro wrestling. As he gets older and more senile, Dave Meltzer. I listen to him and I'm just like,
do you know
dude,
what
kind of crack are you smoking?
The problem with Dave Meltzer is he makes the rest of us wannabes look bad.
Kurt Angle
because everybody gets painted with the same tar brush in wrestling journalism that we're all Dave Meltzer and we're all dirt sheets when we're not. Dave Meltzer's problem is if it doesn't happen in the Tokyo Dome, he doesn't think it's worth watching.
Kurt Angle doesn't have a single 5-star match.
Or if the Bucks or Perry or whomever.
The Young Bucks have 5-star matches to their name.
Now, to Omega's credit, incredible in-ring talent, incredible work rate. Omega deserves.
I've enjoyed several Kenny Omega matches. I've never enjoyed a Young Buck match.
Okay, no. That's because you haven't watched the right ones. Them in 2014 to 2016 Ring of Honor, that's their best run.
When they were in the Bullet Club.
When the matches that they had with the Briscoes, the matches that they had with Kaz and Daniels, the matches
the
that they had with the Hardys, War Machine, like the Young Bucks do have a generational run in them. Unfortunately, that's a decade ago.
And they haven't changed a goddamn thing.
All of their matches
changed their gimmick. They changed their gimmick. They changed their ring attire, but their matches are identical. Right? Simon Diamond. You remember Simon Diamond?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Simon Diamond is famously quoted in saying that he used to consider Rob Van Dam matches offensive exhibitions because you knew exactly what Rob was going to do and you just kind of scored him out of 10.
Yeah, RVD was hitting.
The Young Bucks matches have become offensive offense.
No, offensive exhibitions.
Yeah, they've become offensive exhibitions where they literally do the exact same crap in every single match. They never sell. They don't put people over the way they should. Right? And my biggest gripe with them, when the Young Bucks have the tag team championships, they're featured on Dynamite every single week. When anybody else has those belts, they're relegated to Rampage.
So, hold on. Speaking of relegation, I was talking with Suge about this earlier today. Can somebody please, like I am 3 years old, explain to me why the Von Erich brothers aren't on mainstream TV? They have them under contract. They're the Ring of Honor Trios titles with Dustin Rhodes. Why aren't the Von Erich boys on?
Because Ring of Honor is getting merged with AEW in the next 6 months.
Oh, you mean AEW Ring of Honor or the death of a beloved promotion?
I mean the death of a beloved promotion. He's going to fold it into AEW. He's going to kill all the belts off. Right?
I don't think he's going to kill all the belts off. I, for some reason, think he's going to keep that Ring of Honor world title around for historic.
I think he's going to fold it back into the Continental Classic, and that's the last we'll see of it.
Basically, whatever the right decision is, Tony Khan's going to do the 180 of that.
Yeah, no, so I was watching Death Before Dishonor on Friday.
I refused to watch it. I watched the pre-show. It was trash.
So the actual show itself was fun. Billy Starks versus Red Velvet, little bit of a low point. Why have Billy Starks? Why have Billy Starks win the title, hold the belt for 4 fucking months,
and then drop it to Red Velvet?
First defense. She hadn't defended it. The Ring of Honor Women's TV title was not defended on Ring of Honor TV.
No. It was stupid, but that's because Ring of Honor doesn't have TV, Matty.
No, they don't. But they've got Honor Club. And if you're going to run a show weekly still, then the mental capacity would justify that, hey, your TV, or you could even call it your Honor Club title, defend it weekly like it was supposed to be.
Yeah, but then again,
you can also look at whenever Crockett Promotions and NWA, or whenever it's Crockett Promotions, their big title was the U.S. heavyweight title. But the NWA, they were still members of the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. Whenever it became WCW, they kept the Crockett U.S. title, and it just became the. So there would be precedent for folding. I think even the television title was around at that point.
Yeah,
maybe. Dusty had it 87. Dusty had the TV in 87. So there is precedent for folding a couple of belts in, but there's already too many damn belts anyway.
Nick, am I misremembering this? Is Nakamura legit injured here?
No,
was Bobby
legit
injured?
No, it's a sell job.
Okay, I can understand that, but why it takes so long?
Building of tension, Matthew.
Yes, the match has already been going for a minute, though.
Yeah, I know.
Mick Foley fell off the top of a cage, did the stretcher job, and walked back to the ring.
It's how you build this style of match. You drip feed throughout the match. Then you hit a big spot, you slow it back down. You hit another big spot after you build to it, and then you slow it back down.
Well, if I remember correctly,
as I said,
this is what happens next.
It's called centicular storytelling.
Yeah, I was about to say, if I remember correctly, this is what had happened. Oh, okay. I did misremember it. Okay.
It's centicular storytelling. It's instead of a circle, it's the shape of an egg. When you're going up the egg, you tell the story forwards. When you're going back down the other side, you tell the same story in reverse.
Yes, here's the thing. I was misremembering the spot because I thought they did all that just for Nakamura to get back in the ring, immediately hit a glorious DDT. I thought it felt like they were rushing to the end, you know.
No.
Also, Nakamura is incredibly underrated for his selling.
Yeah, one of the best sellers in Japan. From Japan.
Every time I see a half crab, I cannot think of anyone but Lance Storm. I'm sorry.
No, that's because Lance Storm does the best half crab in wrestling history.
Who is that?
The way he used to roll into it.
Who's that kid from the UK right now that uses
Charlie Dempsey?
Does Dempsey use it?
You said kid from the UK. You said kid from the UK.
I think it's Michael Oku that uses it.
Yes, Michael Oku, the OJMO.
Yeah.
Yeah, his single crab is really good.
His single crab is really good. He's got the body build of kind of like Zack Sabre, but
so Nick, I just realized something. Of the 12 matches we're looking at doing for episode 1 and episode 2, of those 12 matches, 8 of them, I still have in my vault 8 of them on VHS, like the actual WCW VHS.
Oh, really?
Releases.
That's amazing.
That would be some good props.
Yeah, they would.
Since we're doing this time travel thing, like, folks, here's what this looked like when you got this in the mail.
There you go. Wrestling through time.
Wrestling through time. I like that. Or wrestling with time, maybe?
Wrestling in time.
Wrestling in time.
Our time in wrestling.
Oh, that works. I like that.
Oh, I was just throwing darts.
No, I like that.
No, dude, literally.
It's like we were all in a con. We were just all pissing against the wall. I was like, well, I'll whip mine out.
No, our time in wrestling works because it covers the fact that it is literally yours and my time watching wrestling, as well as the specific wrestler's time in wrestling.
And if you guys go for an hour, you can make it our time in wrestling with an H.
Oh, no, they're going to be way more than an hour.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, these are about 2 hours each.
Yeah.
So I will say, and I know I am alone here, absolutely alone here, I still love the thick strap NXT title. Bro,
I love the thick leather. I love the thick leather. I hate the gigantic fucking the championship is the logo.
Just imagine a heel champion taking that massive strap and just whipping the shit out of their baby face going into a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I was thinking more using it as a
strap.
You know.
All right, so yeah, that was San Ann.
Was NXT TakeOver San Antonio, Cap. I'm going to hit pause. What did you think?
I loved matches 1 and 3. I loved the way they booked the tag title match. I loved how they booked this match here with Rude and Shinsuke. There's not much I probably would have changed. The ladies match, I just liked getting to see Nikki Cross. And
wait a minute,
Yo.
Am I right in thinking Orlando is the debut of Aleister Black?
I see that screenshot, and in my mind, I think this is Aleister's debut.
Well, I might have to change the matches. Let me see.
Well, hold on, because if it's Aleister's
so this
debut,
is NXT TakeOver Orlando, season 4, episode 2. Okay.
Now, a lot of people claim Orlando a top 10 NXT TakeOver. Mind you, there's only been 36 of them, but to be top 10 out of 36 is still damn good.
Upper third.
Yeah.
Right. We don't have time to do 4 matches.
We do not. We're already almost at 2 hours.
Yeah. So, what are we dropping to replace with Aleister Black's debut?
What were the matches that you lined up?
We can do Rude Nakamura 2.
We kind of have a title match.
Yeah. DIY, AOP, and Revival. That's the title match.
We have to do that because of the reasoning.
Yeah. And then Oscar versus Ember Moon.
That's also a fucking good match. God damn it. Mm-hmm. Well, Oscar and Ember have a couple matches against each other. We can catch their sequel.
Which is better than the first.
Without a shadow of a doubt. So
okay, well, we'll start with Aleister Black's debut. I will find the timestamp now. You guys shill away.
We're kind of.
Andy, what have you got coming up? Because basically, Raw Ball has nothing until Thursday, September 5th, whenever NFL starts.
We're kind of taking. Well, you know, there's also the draft, the 31st of August, but
yes. Well, we will be doing that.
Other than that, we're kind of taking like a short reprieve. Catch our breath, you know.
I just realized why this is such a good show.
Recover from the summer from hell.
I just remembered why this is such a good show. Nigel McGuinness is his first spate on commentary tonight.
Oh, shit. That's right. Nigel becomes part of the commentary team.
Yeah, on this takeover.
If I'm not mistaken, because Percy got canned, which, by the way, I was going to... Dude, I was going to mention that NXT has this really, really bad habit of trying 3-person commentary teams and the third person being shit.
Yeah.
Byron Saxton, Percy Watson. I think they had Beth Phoenix at a time, and Beth Phoenix is not a good commentator.
No, she's not.
She actually just got released, didn't she?
No, she didn't get released. She refused to resign.
Oh,
Her husband's over in AEW. Her husband's recovering from a leg injury.
Who, according to Tony Khan, is having the best run of his career.
Oh my God! Don't even start. Right. That is the most ludicrous statement I've ever heard.
Last I checked, 2005 is 20 years ago.
Yep. Right. And that was Edge's best run.
Yeah, 2005 to 2008 is Edge's best.
Yeah, before his initial retirement.
And you know what? We can even say it's not the late 90s. He's not doing 10-second flash photography poses anymore.
No.
Like, here's the thing. You want to know who's having the best run of their fucking career right now? His old tag team partner.
Christian Cage. Christian is having the best heel run in wrestling.
And that's a man that left WWE once before, made a name of himself in TNA before, and somehow came back and then got relegated again. Then again, I think Christian had a recurring shoulder injury?
Yes. He had a rotator cuff problem.
Big E still holds a grudge against that man. All right, Nick. So what is the timestamp?
I believe I am getting to it in 1 second. Andrade's just taking his goddamn time while they're setting up Alice's entrance.
Oh, shit. It's Andrade versus Alistair.
Yeah.
I forgot. I still think that their friendship and their like weird way of connection to each other is the weirdest thing on the planet.
It's so strange. They kind of follow each other from company to company without meaning to. It's like Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross.
But the thing is the thing that tied them together in the first place is Selena Vega.
I know. Okay, because one's married to him, the other one got married. 28-43, gents.
Okay.
28-43.
Now, Cap, Nicholas,
yes.
The tag team title match is in a ladder, right? Is it in a ladder match?
It might be.
Because if it is, we're about to hit a new era, Cap.
Okay. Oh, also, Maddie, I just sent you the matches Nick and I will be covering for episodes 1 and 2 of the biography series. If you care to take a look.
Our time in wrestling.
Our time in wrestling. Some of those you may have seen before. Some you may have not. Some may look very interesting to you.
Either way, most of them are bangers.
Yes. We had another one in mind, but we decided that match is just so damn good it deserves a one-off.
Yeah, it deserves an in-between episode.
Yes.
No way, Jose getting a spotlight in this intro package.
You said 28-43, Nick?
28-43.
Okay, I'm at 28-46.
All right, I will get to 46.
If I remember correctly, this like 8-man tag was actually really fun too.
6-man, 2-woman.
8-person tag.
Right, well, I am ready when you boys are. Are you ready, Mate?
28 what?
28-46.
Okay. I'm sorry. I kind of got sidetracked from I got sidetracked because of seeing that 8-person tag.
An 8-person intergender, anything goes. Wait.
Sanity versus Ruby Riott versus Cassius Ohno, Ty Dillinger, and
Roddy Strong.
Roddy Strong.
Now,
who is the most out of place man on that team?
Santa, no, because Roddy Strong was fucking around with Eric Young. Him and EY were having
Yeah.
beef.
Well, they had a match on the last show. Right, are we ready?
I am ready.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Oh no.
Play.
I
I absolutely adore this entrance music because
yeah.
I'm a metalhead.
So
Oh, what'd you think of
enjoyed
the metal band at the opening ceremony in Paris?
Didn't watch it.
You mean Gojira, a
Gojira.
band that Alora and I got to see live.
Was it Gojira at the Olympics?
Yep.
Yeah, Gojira did the introduction
No
ceremony
way.
to the Olympics.
No wonder everyone said it was satanic.
Oh, dude, in America, they are ready to declare World War III on France over what they did. It's hilarious.
Nah, my brother follows the Olympics. I follow the wrestling and the judo at the Olympics. That is it. And sometimes the boxing.
So, Cap,
Olympics?
during this new era as well.
So this is Aleister Black.
Correct.
Yeah, what me and Nick will call the what should we call this era?
The glorious era.
The glorious. Well, no, because
That doesn't last long.
we are in the glorious era, but we're also like this show sets everything in motion for the true black and gold era.
The transitional period.
Okay.
We are in a transitional period, and during this transitional period, you are going to see 3 people truly come up as stars.
Mm-hmm.
Aleister Black,
Yeah.
Ember Moon,
Yeah.
and oh my fucking god, Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Whenever
I
he
wish
does
Aleister Black. My one complaint with his kit, his entire is like, dude, get some pants. Like those are just way too skimpy.
No. See,
Well, he looks better in the Muay Thai shorts that he wears in AEW.
he does look better in the Muay Thai shorts, but I know that the reason he wore the trunks is because of his tats. Wanted to show him more.
I get that, but
Dude,
he looks like too. It's like whenever I see Andre in just the regular trunks, it's like Andre. It's like I prefer singlet Andre.
So here's the thing. Aleister Black, everything about his appearance truly doesn't matter the moment the bell rings.
Mm-hmm.
It's a minor complaint.
Oh,
It's not like oh my god, I can't watch you because I don't like your kit.
Also,
what do you do?
Something that not a lot of people noticed, but Christians did. You'll notice on his jacket, there's a patch right over his right breast.
Yeah.
18.
That is the true satanic cross.
Yeah.
Okay.
Infinity
With the line above it.
with the line and the 2 crosses.
Yeah.
The true satanic cross.
I'm not too familiar with their symbolism. I mean, as far as I've gotten to that, I mean, I've read the collected works of Aleister Crowley, which, folks, if you're ever looking for a mind fuck, that's one for you.
Well, the true
That's where he got
satanic
his
cross
first
is
name
just
from.
pure mythical astronomy. It's pure mythical astronomy and symbolism, just like the Bible, just like everything else. # Eve did nothing wrong.
# Eve did nothing wrong.
She didn't. I'm sorry, but okay. So because the whole
the
world
apple
was
in your
sexist
mouth?
and the Bible was written by a sexist, women are responsible for original sin because they wanted to learn.
Yes.
That just doesn't sit well with me. It never has.
Have you ever read the book Majesty, Nicholas?
No.
Oh, it's a fantastic book about how England created the King James version of.
Oh, okay.
I've got like 7 or 8 different Bibles, different translations, whatever. But
Iterations.
That's the Quran, right? Like you've read the Quran?
Me? Who?
I've got several
No,
King
Cap.
Jameses. I've got an international. I've got the Catholic version. But yes, this is the book, Nicholas.
Okay, I'll find that.
Very, very good read.
I will find that.
Also, another thing a lot of people don't know, Andrade is a bit of an older gentleman.
Yeah.
But I can honestly say I've never watched a match where I was upset with Andrade's performance.
Nope.
Oh, dude. If
Very few guys I can say that about.
Cap, how many New Japan matches have you seen?
Recent ones,
Not necessarily
gosh.
recent, just
in general.
Do you know the name Tetsuya Naito?
the name rings a bell.
Do you know the name
my New Japan
Lasombra?
is basically I watched some of Kenny Omega's stuff, a
If
little
you've
bit of
seen
the
some
stuff
Kenny
that
Omega, probably
you've
seen-
sent me. But my
You've
main New
probably
Japan
seen
stuff
Naito.
is like
Well,
90s, like
when-
late 80s.
When Andrade was in CMML and he was known as La Sombra, he started a group called Los Ingobernables,
The Ingovernables.
which the Ingovernables, that's correct. In which Tetsuya Naito, when he was on his excursion from Japan, went to Mexico and joined the Ingovernables along with Rush, who was not Rush at the time, but I can't remember what he was called.
I don't El Toro Blanco.
El Toro Blanco, thank you. It was El Toro Blanco, La Sombra, and I do not remember what they called Naito. Because it was the Spanish version of the Stardust Prince. But I don't know what that is.
They called him Stardust or Stardust Prince in Spanish.
Yeah, but I don't remember what that is in Spanish. You're the Latino, Matty. You should know better than me.
Let me look this up. But continue the story.
Continue the story. Tetsuya Naito joined Los Ingobernables in Mexico. He did his entire excursion there. He got over like Rover with the Mexican audience, as well did Los Ingobernables, to the point that they were so popular that when Naito went back to Japan, he founded Los Ingobernables de Japón, LIJ, the Ingovernables of Japan.
Yep.
Which is still probably the most popular faction going in New Japan professional wrestling.
I mean, shit. You want to know how popular it is?
Teton's in it.
I got a hat.
Oh, right. 1 second.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, all of like,
Oh my
all
God,
of,
Maddie, you just gave me a Monty Python flashback. And what qualifications do you have to be a lion tamer? I've got a hat. Coconut Harrods, it's a big hat, says lion tamer on it. Oh, wow.
Me and Nick both got LIJ hats.
Yeah, but did yours come from Japan, Matty?
I think so. I bought it. I bought it off of the NJPW store. So
No, you see, Simon bought this for me at a live event in Tokyo.
now you see, I probably got mine from Japan, but not
In Japan.
in Japan.
It's swings and roundabouts. It's the same difference.
Yeah, if I am buying a like merch from a Japanese wrestler, I'm buying it straight off of NJPW, so that wrestler gets their fucking merch money.
Yeah, hell yes.
What the fuck did they call you, man?
Stardust
Stardust Genesis.
is just such an intimidating.
Stardust Genesis. Thank you.
Do you think? Just curious, because I mean I know very little about Aleister Black. I'm indifferent, not positive, negative either way. Has AEW fumbled him? Because I've heard a lot of people say that they really think AEW screwed the pooch with what they could have done with him.
AEW has got his presentation perfect.
He just does.
I've heard you say that a number of times.
Credit where credit is due. His presentation is perfect.
He just does not wrestle singles matches.
No, and he should. Aleister Black should be a singles competitor, wrestling
He should
in
be
singles
challenging for
matches.
the world title.
Yes, or at least the international or the continental.
No. I think I'm onto something. Give
Isn't
me
the
Swerve
American
versus Black.
Yes, please. That would be an amazing match.
Give me
So
Swerve
is it now?
versus Aleister.
So is it? I thought it was the Continental became the International. The International became the American.
Continental title is still the Continental title. That's being held by Okada. The international title is now the American.
MJF has just turned into the American Championship, which is a god-awful star-spangled mess.
Yes, it is hideous. But But
I
it's
did
MJF,
thoroughly
so
appreciate. I did
can't.
thoroughly appreciate the American flag with his face replacing all of the stars.
All of his faces as the stars. I
Yeah.
cried.
I get the MJF
True.
dickish move of it, so I appreciate that. But yes, the actual belt itself is trash. But it's MJF, so he's over with me.
No, that match with him and Ospreay, like you were saying, Nick, they could go time limit. Here's the thing: All in One, there was the time limit, and MJF asked for more time.
Yeah.
That's not gonna be a thing at this one.
No, it's stupid.
Unless-
they shouldn't have done it on free TV. They shouldn't have done it on free TV.
Unless CD comes out and forces more time, then there's not going to be more time. But
It's not going to have a time limit.
that AEW world title matches all have 60-minute time limits.
It's not a world title match.
Title match, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they went the distance last time, so this time no time limit.
They'll still
And they'll go. I'm telling you, they'll only go 30 minutes at All In.
The match is still going to be billed as a 60-minute time limit.
Yeah, but they'll only go 30 in the rematch.
Or
And it's stupid.
hold on. We're cooking
What about
with
2
something
out of 3
here. We're cooking
falls?
with something here. We're cooking with something here. No. AEW's first Iron Man match.
MJF versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Was that an Iron Man match?
Yeah.
Son of a
What the-
bitch.
Yeah, went the time limit too.
Fuck. Second Iron Man match.
No, they're not gonna do
I go
it.
to the Flair Steamboat rule. You have the first one that goes, does the thing. Second one, 2 out of 3 falls. Third one, 60-minute time limit, but you have the judge panel, if it goes the time limit, to vote and decide who the winner was.
Has AEW done the 3 stages of hell yet?
No, and hopefully they never will.
3 stages of hell.
3 stages of hell. If you get the 3 matches right,
Right. I understand you're young and you like gimmicks, but there is such a thing as over gimmicking a match. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels and Triple H versus Steve Austin are the only 2 3 stages of hell matches that anyone remembers.
Well,
yes,
the
other 4
John Cena versus fucking Batista involved an ambulance match,
and is horrendous. And is horrendous.
Pretty much anything involving Batista was
3
horrendous.
stages of hell. Here's
regular
stages.
Regular, ladder, cage. Or cage, ladder.
No. You can cage match has to be the last one. But the middle one, you can replace ladder match. You can replace it with street fight. Submission. Like, depending on who the opponents are, you can have it be a submission match. Like, give me 3 stages of hell. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. A normal match, Bryan wins with the psycho knee. Submission match, Zack Sabre wins with tactical nuclear death. Submissions. Huh?
Tactical napalm death.
Yes. And then the third match, you just have them batter each other and then book a legitimate winner.
And that was Aleister Black's debut.
Very good debut, I would say. Again, I mean, with Aleister, I have not seen enough of his work, and from what you would say as far as his AEW run, I've seen probably a handful of his AEW excursions, but again, they were all tag matches.
That's Brody King in the audience.
Yes, it is.
I forgot he did a tryout for WWE at this time.
As one half of the Kings of the Black Throne, and then they turned him down. Because Vince didn't like his look.
Because who is oh my god, Dale calls him a melted crayon book, which is very disrespectful. He's actually got very good tattoos.
He does.
But yeah, no, it's the fact that Brody King is 6'5", a little chubby, and covered in tattoos. He didn't think he could do anything with him, which is asinine.
Absolutely stupid. Right, 47-15, gents.
Which I keep wondering. I mean, Maddie, Laura's got a fair amount of ink. How come you have none?
Because I have wanted to get ink. I just never.
Same as me, mate. I've always wanted to get one sleeve done. I've just never got around to it.
Oh, dude, I want.
The first tattoo Maddie ever gets has to be the Denver Bronco tramp stamp.
Dude, I want full sleeves. I want to go up my neck. I want to have something down.
No, dude, neck tattoos are trashy.
Just ask Cody Rhodes.
What I want is for like the sleeve to connect.
The start,
and then go up my
the neck connect.
Okay.
I don't want a neck
Well,
tattoo.
when you've got a spare $5,000, you can get all this done.
Exactly. I don't have the fucking money.
that's my main problem.
But again, got to start with the Bronco tramp stamp.
I'll definitely get a Broncos tattoo. It ain't a tramp stamp.
All right, are we ready, gents?
You said
I'm on a commercial,
47.15,
so it's
right?
47.15.
How are you on a commercial, sir? We share a peacock.
Well, actually, we don't.
Did you?
We had a technical snafu where, for whatever reason, that was logged in on the TV that was downstairs. That TV broke. We had to get a new TV. So I'm just on my regular.
I'll send you account info.
I'm just on the regular cock at this point.
Okay. After this, I'll send you account
just
info.
regular cock. 47.15. Okay. 47. Okay, I'm at 47.16. Close enough. Let me hit the lube.
Before we get started, Cap can go piss. But this next run of NXT that we're going to be taking Cap on, right? Phoenix. We might have to do a show where we watch like 4 or 5 matches out of
Jimmy
that one show.
Jimmy is joining us for New Orleans.
New Orleans is also one of my favorites.
It's Jimmy's favorite takeover of all time. He insisted that he's on the show when we do it.
My favorite, I think.
When is
my favorite match comes from Takeover Portland.
That makes sense.
My
Which one?
favorite. Oh, it's Keith Lee Dijak.
I thought so.
Bro, doing a springboard senton into a catch for a power bomb is the most ridiculous shit for 2 6-foot-plus motherfuckers.
Right. Well, before we get to New Orleans, we have the following to cover.
Okay.
We have, in order, Chicago.
The first one?
Yep.
Oh,
That's next.
God.
Chicago's next. Brooklyn 3.
The debut of
Yep. War Games.
the first War Games also.
Yeah.
Dude, we've got a generational run of NXT shows coming up.
Philadelphia.
That's Adam Cole versus. Oh my lord!
Mm-hmm. And then New Orleans.
And then after that, Phoenix, right?
Yep. No. After that, Chicago 2.
Okay.
Then Brooklyn 4.
The fuck do we get to Phoenix?
Then War Games. Then Phoenix.
Okay. Dude,
He's still not sold on Ciampa.
Not yet.
I told him today, not yet.
Not yet.
Gotta wait for the split to happen. Gotta wait for that split to happen and wait for Ciampa to form into his final heel form.
Which we don't see for like another couple months after what happens.
I know. It's gonna take time, but it's gonna be worth it.
This keeps sounding crazily like that South Park episode where they're making fun of Game of Thrones and George R.R. Martin says, "It's okay, the dragons are on their way." But first, Rodney walks out with his penis. Ling, diddling, diddling, diddling. I feel like I'm just getting dicks in my face instead of dragons. It's okay. The dragons are on the way. But in the meantime, King Joffrey and his penis is just like this big. Oh, God, I'm going to be sick.
Right. I got to go take a piss real quick. I'll be right back.
No worries, man.
Had to stir my Guinness stew.
Oh, will you stop talking about steak and ale pie? I'm starving.
Not steak and ale pie.
No, it is. Right. So, a steak and ale pie is a Guinness stew that you just put a pastry top on when it's in the bowl. The pastry top is cooked separately. Steak and ale pie is not technically a pie. You can have it in a pie, but traditionally it is a stew with a pastry topper.
I thought Guinness stew it's basically a beef stew, but you leave the potatoes out, you mash the potatoes and serve the stew atop or inside, like a ring of mash.
That's steak and ale pie.
Well, I think shepherd's pie, cottage pie, like that's a pie.
No, it's steak and ale pie, dude. And technically, cottage pie and shepherd's pie aren't pies. A pie requires a pastry casing.
Yeah, I was about to say, those aren't pies. Just because you put them in a pie dish does not make it a pie.
No, they're called shepherd's pie and
they're more casseroles, but
they're more casseroles. But a pie,
yeah, shepherd's
speaking
pie
as the Englishman, the country that invented pies, a pie requires a pastry case.
You said something that Google
can
answer.
Well, by that definition, then what do they call it? The filet mignon with the mushrooms and everything.
Beef Wellington.
Then by that definition, beef Wellington is a pie because it has a pastry.
No, because it does not have a pastry case. It is wrapped and encased.
You liar.
What was it, the French?
No, it was actually the ancient Egyptians in Greece. Apparently, they've been pies. They've been doing pies
well,
since they've been
in that case, we made it famous.
We made it famous.
I mean, I'll give you obviously fish and chips, bangers and mash,
cheese and onion pie, steak and kidney pie, chicken and mushroom pie, pork pie.
Hold on, time out. Go back. What was that first pie?
Steak and kidney.
Before that, you said something else.
Fish pie,
cheese and onion.
Yeah.
Any meat?
No.
It's like French onion soup.
It doesn't have meat in it.
So what's like the protein to it? Do you guys?
No, there is no protein in cheese and onion pie.
It's beef broth with
it's beef broth, caramelized onions, and a shitload of melted cheddar.
Yeah,
and a shitload of cheddar sauce.
And then so the sauce,
and that's in the pastry.
The sauce is what thickens it up. Okay.
Yes.
Thought you were making a liquid pie, my boy.
No. I mean, it is technically liquid, but it's thick. Right,
there's
gentlemen.
such thing as allow squids.
Are we ready?
I am ready.
3, 2, 1, play.
All right.
So, Cap.
Yes.
I think it's safe to say that with this NXT takeover, we can assuredly say we are getting ready to transition into the new era.
Yeah.
So what year are we in here?
2000 and still 16, or are we in 17 now?
No, because the last show that you guys did was San Antonio, which was Royal Rumble weekend. So
yes, this is 2017.
New year.
2017.
If I'm not mistaken, these boys are due for a call-up, actually.
In about 4 months.
WrestleMania time, right?
Yeah.
And again, another bunch that Vince screwed the pooch with.
No. Time out. This is Mania weekend, Nick.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, in a sane world,
Everyone
FTR would have, would still be with WWE and would have been, the greatest tag team of the last 20 years.
Well, if Triple H had managed to take over 10 years earlier, we wouldn't have had the issue.
Well, yeah, and had Vince, he was doing his thing. He just hadn't got caught yet, unfortunately.
Okay, I have a genuine question for you boys, and this isn't one of those, it won't happen, so I'm not going to answer it.
Right.
Tony Khan said that he would be very open to the thought of working with WWE. Triple H has also said that in a perfect world, he would be fine with working with AEW. An AEW crossover happens. What are the 5 matches you boys are putting together?
Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles.
Over Seth Rollins?
Yeah.
You're right, because they never got their payoff from
New Japan.
Bullet Club.
Yeah. Will Ospreay versus Seth Rollins.
Okay, I see where you're going now.
John Moxley versus Roman Reigns.
Okay. I mean, I despise John Moxley, but I get that.
No.
There's
I
still
see exactly what he's
things to be told there.
And Tony Storm versus Charlotte Flair.
And MJF, what are you doing with only the most important guy in pro
Cody.
wrestling?
Cody.
Oh, okay.
Cody.
Okay. Well, very good. Very good then.
All right, Cap. We got 5 matches.
Really, Tony Storm versus Charlotte. That was the only one you mentioned there that I'm kind of.
There is history there.
I was about to say the last.
Okay.
the last thing
Because
Tony
I'm
Storm-
The
unaware.
last thing Tony Storm did on WWE TV was getting cream pies slammed in her face.
No, that's a way to put that.
Okay. Are we
Well,
talking like
literally
Always
what
Sunny
it
in
was.
Philadelphia cream pies, or
Charlotte Flair pie-faced Tony Storm, and like that was so originally. I guess
I love Tony Storm and I love Charlotte Flair. I didn't see the connection there.
Well, there you go. That's the connection.
Originally,
Okay.
I wanted Charlotte to strip Tony out of her top in the skit, and because she refused that, they had.
Well, you got to
Charlotte
watch out for
face
the. Well, you got to tits out.
Nice.
Is that why she says that?
Probably.
Was it face up, tits out? Watch out for the shoe.
Chin up,
Tits out, watch
out.
the shoe. Oh, can we just agree that Mariah May and Tony Storm is the best thing in AEW right now?
Oh, absolutely.
It's the only thing they're doing that I've kind of found out. Okay, what are they doing next year? What are they doing?
Hangman and Swerve, bro. Hangman and Swerve has me so goddamn invested.
Hangman and Swerve, and a lot of people disagree with me on this, is AEW's Rock Austin feud.
It's going to be. They're going to be feuding forever.
New tag belts.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Cap, this is the transition into the, again, new era of NXT.
New belts.
They all got new titles. All of them.
I mean, we got William Regal, so I'm hooked.
Oh, at
Look
this
at those
point,
belts.
he's general
Look
manager.
at those belts. They're so pretty.
I can't see until they hold the fuckers up.
At this point, Cap.
Okay, much better.
At this point, Cap, William Regal is the general manager for NXT. He's calling the shots. He's the one. He is getting ready to do the infamous War Games.
He will actually be featured in an hour time of wrestling.
Yes, he will.
In episode 2.
Good.
In episode 2.
Great American Bash 1996.
Yes.
William Regal versus Sting.
Okay,
Where
Cap.
actually, if I remember correctly, Nick, catch me up on this. That was the first time Sting literally lost all of his makeup in the match from Regal just rubbing his face.
Yeah, Regal constantly doing this.
Sting had no makeup left.
None. He was just Steve Borden by the end of the match.
So Cap.
From Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Cap, this match alone pushes forward such an era of NXT.
What this match does is
I'm reserving judgment, but I will tell you instantly, I do not like triple tag team boo-ha.
Well, here's the thing.
But given the talent, I'm reserving judgment.
No, but before you even get the judgment out there, look at the 3 teams. You've got
that's what I'm saying. Given the talent, I'm reserving the judgment.
You've got one team of giants. You've essentially got the Twin Towers. You've got one team of
Ollie and Tom. Tully and Arn.
Yeah, you've got Tully and Arn in the Brainbusters, and then you've got the plucky underdog baby faces in the Rockers. Those look at it as those 3 teams going against each other. You've got 2 monsters and 2 teams.
Well, I was thinking the more I watched DIY, and I said this is before you got in, Gargano's selling as a tag team reminds me of Ricky Morton with the Rock and Roll Express.
Okay, I was about to say, I can see
he
Rock and
could
Roll
sell
Express
like
as well.
Ricky Morton could before they would get the tag to Robert Gibson, who would be kind of the cleanup guy.
And to be fair, Tommaso Ciampa is a fantastic comparison to Gibson as well, because the hot tags that he gets.
So I see more Rock and Roll Express than Rockers.
So do I.
I'll take it.
Okay. Cap's paying attention. He's just finding frames of reference.
This is why this match is so good. They do this phenomenal job of keeping AOP out of the way for as long as humanly possible.
And let
it's for their betterment to keep those big bastards out of their way.
But here's the thing. This might be AOP's greatest performance ever.
No, the ladder match.
Huh?
Ladder match.
This is the ladder match.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
This is not a ladder match.
It's not a ladder match. No, this is the triple threat.
Yes, the triple threat was a ladder match.
No. There was the triple threat. Then there was the triple threat ladder match.
I'm pretty sure this is a triple threat ladder match.
No, I'm pretty sure this is just a triple threat.
I have not seen a
single
beam.
That's why the belts aren't hanging above the ring.
I've seen many a ladder match, Maddie. I know a ladder match when I see one. This is not a ladder match.
You got a good point. I didn't see anything hanging above the ring either.
That's because it's not.
Yep. You're right. Shut your damn mouth.
And my favorite thing about NXT at this point.
This is the elimination.
Correct.
Okay.
My favorite thing about this show is Nigel's commentary. It's bloody extraordinary, people. The amount of enunciation he puts in on every third sentence is unreal.
Nigel McGuinness, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, I do love me some Nigel McGuinness.
He's a great commentator. He works so well with Tony Schiavone on Collision.
Anything to keep whatever his name is, the guy with the mask. That guy is Excalibur. That guy's like ice picks in your ears and balls at the same time. That's because
he is the king of the indie commentators, mate. Excalibur adds the indie-rific feel that Dynamite is supposed to have.
Well, I was going to say Kevin Kelly was sort of the king of the independent commentators. And I guess
here's what I love about Excalibur. And it's, I think only two other commentators do this. And it's Corey Graves and it was Morrow. They know the names of fucking moves. Taz does it as well from time to time, but they know the names of moves. So, to an audience that sees something and goes,
but you know why?
What the hell was that?
You know why? Who's their favorite commentator? All three of them. Joey Styles.
Is that Excalibur's favorite?
Yep.
See, I haven't listened to.
Why does Joey Styles not have a job in wrestling these days?
Because I will say this: I love Joey Styles.
I love Joey Styles.
His work in ECW, phenomenal. What he tried to do for ECW WWE, he tried his best. Him getting moved to Raw, he tried his best. He's really hard to work with.
Yeah, I have heard that.
Joey is apparently really hard.
He and Joel Gertner, though, those two, 98, 99, 2000, those two on the horn together. I could not get enough.
I'm sorry, but Joey Styles' best commentary partner is Cyrus the Virus.
Cyrus the Virus. I call him Jackal still.
Yeah, I still call him Cyrus.
I still call him Jackal.
He'll always be Cyrus to me. But Joey and Cyrus on ECW pay-per-view were the best commentary team I've ever heard.
Well, here's the thing that the AEW gets wrong with Don Callis. He's hated.
They get a lot wrong with Don Callis.
They've gotten everything wrong with him, pretty much.
We don't want to see him on TV.
No, we want to see him commentate. We want to hear him on TV all the time.
Booth, make him the most hated commentary guy.
Look how much he adds to Kenny Omega's matches in Japan when he's on the mic.
Who would you replace him with? Because it's got to be Taz or Excalibur. And
Excalibur.
I don't think it's gonna be Excalibur. So you replace Taz. You have Taz, Excalibur, and Schiavone.
I would put Don Callis with Schiavone and Nigel on Collision.
Oh yeah,
they only have a two-man move.
Here's the thing: the 2-man booth on Collision should be Nigel, who is a heel, and Shivani, who's a face, right?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I like that. I like that. But on
I like
Dynamite,
that, but you add Don in there as well.
Do you don't want two heel commentators?
No. But Don wouldn't be a heel commentator; he'd be sitting on the fence.
He would just be looking at talent.
Yeah.
What that? That looked like a botched spot right there somehow. Like it looked like
what, the
something
suicide dive into the back of Johnny's head?
Yeah.
No, that was just stiff as goddamn shit.
Oof.
It's rough. It was a rough spot.
Anything AOP did at this point in their career was rough.
But that wasn't them. That was Ciampa just going off of the suicide dive, bro.
Shivani, I mean, Shivani was, along with Jim Ross, voice of my childhood.
Yeah.
Shivani, does he not give a shit anymore? Does he not have room to work? I don't get where Shivani's.
He cares. It's just he's limited in what he's allowed to say.
Yeah.
Because, as you can
he
tell,
can't make the references he wants to make because WWE own most of those IPs.
Yeah.
You can also look at the fact that towards the end of WCW, he was literally just going off the cuff for most of what he was saying because they were live.
Yeah. He was just going through the motions.
WCW, so, I would say.
They're live right now. They don't want him say, well, some shows are live.
Most shows are live. Collision's live.
Is it live?
WCW pretty much, I would say.
Oh, wait, no.
The late 99 until they folded.
I think Collision and Rampage are both taped.
Yeah, it's Dynamite that's live.
Yeah.
Dynamite's live. Pay-per-views are live. Also, I still don't like that they canceled Dark on YouTube because they're still doing, taped matches that don't hit TV.
Yeah.
That could easily get the YouTube promotion and could easily some of these independent wrestlers.
It's because he bought Ring of Honor so he can Dark, thinking that Ring of Honor would become his developmental, but he's completely mismanaged and mishandled it.
Why is he just carrying him around here, not doing anything?
Because it's supposed to be
waiting for his spot.
Okay, in a torture rack, you're supposed to move parts of either your anatomy or the other gentleman's anatomy.
Yeah, but as I said, fashion. AOP are green as gourds.
One of these guys was an MMA fighter before doing this. And
I don't know if it's Akam or Razor.
And one of them was a bodybuilder or some shit like that.
I mean, at that point, just as big as he is, just put him in an abdominal stretch. At least then you have some options there as far as.
And Gargano is not a big guy either. That'd be easy to. They did try to get Akam and Razor over, though. They
tried.
Did.
They really tried. Unfortunately, they suck.
Do you remember that, their second or third NXT taping, they fucking almost killed that one guy with their Super Collider?
And then now they're with Karrion Kross in the Final Testament, and they still suck. The only thing that's good about them is Paul Ellering. No, it's Paul Ellering. And they don't let Paul Ellering speak.
No, here's the thing. I think Cross is doing some good work right now.
Oh, no, I like the stuff he's doing with New Day. It's good. It doesn't make any sense.
Just period end. He's doing, the matches that he's getting, he's showing off in ring. He's, getting, as the boys said in the day, getting his shit in.
Yeah.
But, it's mismanagement on that part. Because Karrion Kross, he's charismatic. He is good.
So, Matty, you're saying management is at a miss?
But one thing I have to correct you on your sentence there. You use the words, he's good in ring. This is a lie.
No, he can be good in ring.
No, he can't.
Yes.
No, he can't.
Did you
That's why when he was in
DNA
Lucha That's why when he was in Lucha Underground, a company where you could suck monkey balls and still get over, they made him the White Rabbit, and he didn't have a single fucking match.
Did you see him in Impact?
Yes.
He did good work there.
No, he didn't. His opponents did good work there. They made him look good.
And he's even getting...
He can't make himself look. He can't make himself look good. He needs a high caliber opponent to make himself look good. He can't be given a jobber and have a good match.
I mean, just have him annihilate them. But
yeah, he does.
That's a squash.
It's not a good match.
You do 2-minute squash matches on
1, 2, 3 Kid was a jobber. Bret Hart had one of the best matches of his career with him.
And Ramon. Don't forget Razor.
And Razor.
And
Razor. Yeah, and Razor. Right? They had some of the best matches of the career with a jobber. It's entirely possible to have a fantastic match with a jobber if you're good. Karrion Kross, not good.
No, Kross can't carry a match.
Peaked in NXT, unfortunately. And the damage that Vince did to him on the main roster is irreparable.
Agreed.
Yeah. I will say that.
Well, and also Sean Waltman, started as a jobber, but he learned and got competent.
I still believe that the best work Sean Waltman ever did was a 6 in WCW.
Agreed.
He had
him and Guerrero at Sold Out 97.
Right, phenomenal match.
He had those connections. He was good with the click.
Flair made it. Well, Flair makes everybody look good, but Flair in 6.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
Kidman in 6. Another great match.
Oh, I did not see that one. I did not see that one.
It was one of his last Nitros before he left back to WWE.
Which would have been late 97, early 98.
I love that Ciampa is like, we've got bigger fish to fry. Don't break up the submission.
Nah.
And I always loved the chemistry of DIY and FTR because they're the same tag team, just different styles.
Say that again.
I have always loved the chemistry that FTR and DIY had.
Yeah, it's great.
Because they're the same team.
No, they're not.
Just different styles.
What are you saying today, Matthew?
Which means they're not the same team.
No sense. They're not the same team. Styles make matches. That's why their chemistry is so good, because they are so different.
You are not telling me that they look at the selling, the storytelling, and the history of wrestling different.
No. They have the same approach to the art of professional wrestling.
They've got the same minds for the business.
Yes, but they do not do it the same way. Yes.
What I'm saying is they approach it the same way.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Styles.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, they are the same in that they approach the business the same way.
They have the same mentality.
Just use different styles.
Shatter Machine,
which is what makes them such great, not just rivals, but I love this bit. You could probably pair up opposite ends of DIY and FTR, and they would put together damn near as good a match together.
All I say, Matty, look to WCW, the Lethal Lottery, 1996. If you want to see what happens when you split good tag teams up and have them go with their counterparts, it is damn near unwatchable.
What teams did they put together, though? What teams did they?
They split. They put a Steiner brother with a Road Warrior. They put another Road Warrior with Lex Luger. They put Flair and Savage as a team together, and Savage couldn't even move.
And if I remember, Ron Simmons and Haku.
No, that was an earlier Lethal Lottery. I'm talking about the one in '96. They split Harlem Heat up.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Hold on.
I mean,
Look at the pairings that they're doing, though. It doesn't work.
No.
If you put Gargano with FTR bald, and you put Ciampa with Cash,
No, it doesn't work.
I think it could.
No, it doesn't work. They don't approach in ring side.
You're outvoted here, Maddie. 2 out of you're outvoted here.
They don't approach in ring wrestling the same way. Cash and Dax approach the in ring side of wrestling exactly the same way. So did Johnny and Ciampa.
I agree there.
And I've got to say, Cash Wheeler does better topes than Johnny Gargano.
I mean, Cash Wheeler is the better high flyer out of all 4 of these guys. But
yeah, he can do a 450.
No flips, just
fists.
Look, that has been my favorite thing that they have ever done is the fact that they are so, but when he wants to, he busts it out because he feels he needs to.
Crazy bastards.
Good God Almighty.
AOP are good bases, at least.
Yeah.
They would definitely be what they refer to in certain circles as power bottoms.
Agreed.
Anytime I see superplexes or things off WWE's, those ropes are so fucking shaky, and I've seen them break so many times, regardless of if Yokozuna was going for a bonsai. It's just, those ropes are so damn loose. Ugh, I fear for these gentlemen.
Such a tremendous match.
And remember, not one team has been eliminated yet.
Nope.
They've tried, God love them.
What do they call that? The final chapter?
The last chapter.
Yeah.
Close enough.
They stole that one from the Hart Foundation.
Sometimes I think Paul Ellering and Rob Halford are just 2 brothers
The
from
same person.
the same mother somewhere.
Who's Rob Halford?
Lead singer for Judas Priest.
Oh, okay. I'm no good with band names.
If
Breaking
you
the
look
law,
at,
breaking the law.
No, I know the song. I don't know the guy's name.
No, hold on. You want to know the song that first comes to mind when I think Judas Priest? It's Painkiller.
Fair enough.
And do you want to know why that is, Cap?
Because you're addicted to painkillers, mate.
What was that?
Because you're addicted to painkillers, mate.
No. Luckily not.
That was me.
No. Madden 10 was actually my first introduction to Judas Priest because my parents didn't really listen to a lot of rock or metal when I was growing up. Well, the Madden 10 soundtrack had a lot of rock and metal.
Speaking rock and metal, wouldn't you agree that at some point Tony Khan needs to get his bank balance out and pay for Marilyn Manson to play Darby Allin to the ring? 2 Sweet Dreams are made of this.
Give him sweet dreams, bro. But here's the thing.
Manson has a new album coming out next
Yes,
month.
he does.
Well, here's the thing.
Which apparently he's been working on for a long time.
About 10 years, apparently.
I forget the last part of their name, but the band Wicca Phase something that sings Darby Allin's entrance theme.
I don't know the band.
It's literally a group of his best friends. So
that makes sense.
So Darby was like, "Can I have this play me to the ring?" And yeah, no, he's literally had that.
Well, that's like Edge's deal with Alter Bridge.
Yeah, because Edge is really good friends with the lead singer of Alter
Bridge.
And Alter Bridge is a guitar player. Well, I guess they are back on tour now. Mark Tremonti, the guitar player for Creed.
Wait, really?
Apparently Creed is back on the road. I saw it was on Twitter, like a 10-second clip of.
No, it was more about the first part. I didn't know that the lead singer, I didn't know that the guitar player for Alter Bridge is the guitar player for Creed.
No, not did I.
Mark Tremonti.
See, music is one of those things that you will always hear something and go, wow, that's actually kind of crazy. I didn't know that.
Nick, I mean, you and I are both, big fans. I mean, we kind of agree the fact that British bands, British rock bands, blues bands are the greatest thing ever to happen to music.
Correct.
I heard a rumor that Bill Ward may be getting ready to do like a one-off show with the members of Sabbath.
I heard this, yes. Yeah, in fact, I'll ask my brother after the show. He'll know more than me.
I don't buy it, but I hope it's true.
I hope it's true. If it's true, my brother will know about it. He's a massive Sabbath fan.
I mean, shit, I learned to play guitar like the first 6 Sabbath albums. That's part of my guitar Bible. Tony Iommi is one of my gods. But honestly, Bill's like up in age and he's had some health issues. I love the younger guy they had for a little bit.
He was
there.
good.
Older dude that had the braids. He reminded me of Bill. Like he looked like Bill Ward in his younger days and played a lot. Like I dug what they were doing with him. But if they want to get the full cast together, I ain't going to complain.
No, not in the slightest.
You get the original 4 together, I will at least watch.
So Nick,
I was lucky. What?
With how quick Alistair Black and Andrade was, you think we still got time for Asuka?
I don't
because I'm hungry.
I really don't. We've already been going for 2 hours and 46 minutes. And we've still got to do Nakamura versus...
We're old, we're hurt, we're tired, we're hungry, and we work with fucking children.
Okay, yeah, no. To be fair, Nakamura Rude is a 30-minute match. So
right, well, I will swap out Nakamura Rude for Ember versus Asuka.
That is a 12-minute match. I'm down for that.
I would rather watch Nakamura Rude.
Right, we're watching Nakamura Rude. We are educating captain after all.
I mean, I liked what I saw last time. I would love to see the follow-up.
It's better.
It is better because the chemistry that they put together in the first match, they were like, hey, we got something here. So they doubled it. All right, and let's look at
the great British music artist no longer with us. A couple days ago, John Mayall, unfortunately, finally passed away at age 90, I believe he was.
Man was made of guitar strings.
For those of you who are not British blues fans or even guitar players, the 1966 album John Mayall and the Blues Breakers with Eric Clapton pretty much redefined rock guitar. I highly advise anyone who likes blues, rock, Eric Clapton, listen to that album. Basically everything from that album on, Clapton redefined British rock, I guess you might say, with what they did in that band. You don't have that album, you don't have Led Zeppelin. Les Paul, Marshall. I can listen to that album.
We are at 151.44.
151.44.
Matthew.
I have our next 3 matches.
Okay.
For NXT Chicago, Cap. Get ready to watch a 21-year-old Pete Dunne, I believe, versus a 19-year-old Tyler Bate.
The match of the year.
Get ready to watch Asuka versus Nikki Cross versus Ruby Riott in a triple threat.
Really nice.
I love 2 of those 3. The other, I have no clue who the other one is.
And
Ruby Soho.
And then get ready to see the main event, which is the winners of this match that we just saw versus DIY in a ladder match.
AOP or TOP versus DIY.
AOP versus DIY, a ladder match.
It's insane.
So, Nick, combined.
What was the timestamp, Nick? I'm still on commercial here.
151.44.
51.
So, Nick.
Yes.
With those 3 matches, that only adds up to about 45 minutes of wrestling. Would you like
We can put a fourth on.
Okay, I will look at the matches. 151 what?
44.
Cool. All right. I will look
ready?
for a 4th match.
Okay, are we ready to go?
I'm still. I got like 30 seconds of commercial left.
No worries, Matty. Look for that match.
The only
Nick,
other match.
what did you think of the Zeppelin reunion 07 at the O2 with Jason Bonham filling in?
I enjoyed it. I went with my dad.
I did too, and all my friends who are Zeppelin fans, like, they hated it. I was like, "Are you fucking with me?"
So Nick,
What?
we've got a choice.
Okay.
We either do a double header and do the next show as well, which is Brooklyn 3.
Okay.
Or we watch Roddy Strong versus Eric Young.
No.
Or Bobby Roode versus Hideo Itami.
No, that's a terrible match.
So a double header again.
We'll do a double header again.
All right.
Right, folks, you heard it here first. In 2 weeks, we'll be doing another 2 NXT takeovers.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It makes up for all the time I've been away.
I'm sorry. For those matches, not really good.
No.
Bobby Roode versus Hideo Itami.
151.44. Okay, I'm there.
Right.
Bobby
in
Roode.
3, 2, 1, play.
Bobby Roode
Nakamura
versus Hideo Itami is a
outside the ring.
Bobby Roode versus Hideo Itami is
It's Kenta's worst match. They
in
did
his
not gel.
career. In his entire career.
They do not gel well at all. Like, this version of Bobby Roode did not suit Hideo Itami because Kenta was still trying to find out who he was in NXT at that time. And
he was still trying to fucking kick people's heads in.
Yeah, when he was like, no, you need to go softer here. Listen to Shinsuke.
Maddie, when are you going to get the Shinsuke haircut? You could totally pull that off.
I've already got it. I've got my sides shaved. I've got it all the way around. I just don't have it as long as Shinsuke.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have it. I just had a funny thought, Nick. We were talking about
is the greatest entrance in NXT history.
Okay.
Yes, Cap, pay attention. I'm going to look at the next 3 moves that we will take over.
Okay.
See what I did there?
Such a damn shame Alan Rickman was never a GM of one of these organizations.
Would have been amazing.
Ooh.
Oh, by the way, you're fired.
Nick.
Match
number 1. Andrade versus
I would have just swore that was Adele, but
Andrade Gargano.
Andrade Gargano, their first match.
Yeah.
Second match. Ember versus Asuka, their second match.
Yeah, we've got to do that one.
And match number 3. Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Roode.
Yes, please. I love that match. Those two gel so well together.
I can see that.
We've got a doubleheader. Cap, Drew McIntyre had just came back.
Yeah.
From his indie run. Nick, I'm going to send you those as a text.
Yes, please.
Not a problem, brother. We are nothing if not a team.
How Vince did not see Vince is all about the sizzle, not the steak. How could he not at least see the sizzle?
Yeah.
In Bobby Roode.
Because
the God bulb. He has a God bulb, as my brother refers to it, in NXT. Right, where they illuminate him as if he is the chosen one in church.
Because
look at that.
He is.
I would.
Spinning
good thing his eyes are closed because I would be blind.
Yeah.
I cannot stand bright lights.
No, neither can I. I'm photosensitive.
That was one thing I hated
your
about
eyes,
about
it
playing
makes
music live and like the stage lights just fucking blind my ass. And he's wearing the belt on the outside of the robe. A bit of a different take. Typically,
He used to do it. It's what he used to do in TNA
for a reason.
Yes. Well, you can say goodbye to that god-awful, ugly piece of shit now, Cap.
Man, I love that belt. Go fuck yourself.
It's hideous, Matty.
I love it.
It's an eyesore.
Background, bitch.
Matty, imagine if you had a pimple about the size of an English pea on the end of your dick.
Cap.
That's about how photogenic that belt is.
Hold on. There are two belts that in my collection I would love to have on my wall. It's that. It's the 2002 to 2011 Intercontinental title.
The oval.
Yeah, Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy.
The oval.
The oval. That was like 98.
Yeah, that was 98. Yeah.
I thought it was 02.
No, the oval started in 98. After WrestleMania 14, Vince handed out
2006.
Vince handed out new belts after WrestleMania 14.
They did it in 2002 because it got shut down and then it got reinstated in 2002.
True.
I forgot about that.
But it was still the same design. That design first started after Mania 14 when Vince gave Rock a new Intercontinental and gave Austin a new.
You guys know what I mean, though. The oval.
I know.
As I refer to it, Jericho's IC title.
See, it's RVD or Jeff Hardy for me.
That's Jericho.
I don't dislike the oval. I prefer the
held
old.
It like 9 times, dude.
I prefer the Savage, Steamboat, Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels IC design. I don't dislike the oval. It was
Cody
fine.
brought back in 2008.
Which I still want the goddamn Winged Eagle back.
Yeah, don't we all? Never going to happen, though. Well, I've got to say, the World Heavyweight title, lovely looking belt.
It's
I do like
better than the
like
piece of garbage that Cody drags around with him.
No.
That is what I refer to as the final form NXT title.
I just hate the fact that they have to throw the fucking WWE logo insignia.
Dude,
dead center.
The unfortunate fact about WWE, and it's the only real unfortunate factor these days, is the company and the brand is bigger than everybody. It's not like it was in Hogan's day and Brett's day and Austin's day when they were bigger than the company. The brand is bigger than everybody on the roster.
Which is sad.
It's very sad, but it's just the way business works these days, unfortunately.
Well, let me rephrase. It's sad cosmetically. Yes, the company should always be bigger than the guy for the most part, but it shouldn't affect the beauty of what could be a great belt. And we're retiring that gigantic hunk of whale shit.
Now, Cap, I will tell you, going into some of these matches, you are going to start seeing some of Dave Meltzer's 5-star matches for WWE.
I did hear, I was listening to an interview with Uncle Dave, and apparently he gave NXT some 5-star matches.
He did.
Okay, same design, still horrible belt.
It's not the same design.
It's not
just
the same
a big
design.
X. It's still a big X. What Triple H did was he looked at the X Division title in TNA and went, I'm going to do that, but gold.
Anyway, you were saying about Dave and giving NXT 5-star.
Uh-oh.
So this one has no stipulations. This is just straight rematch.
Yep, straight rematch.
Okay. Oh, they need to lower the lights.
They don't do that because this is a sold-out crowd. The absolute like back rows are blacked out because it's a much bigger arena. Because I think they're doing the place where the Bulls play.
The United Center.
Right?
The United Center's in Chicago.
Hold on.
Orlando. Maybe where the Magic.
This is Orlando. Yeah, where the Magic play. My bad. Sorry, I've
been to the arena where the Heat play. But I haven't been to Orlando.
Yeah, they're at where the Magic play, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So Jordan Love and Tua got the bag.
Those 5 quarterbacks total out to 1.25 billion USD. The entirety
Tua, I wouldn't. Jordan Love, I would have taken the risk. Tua, not. I wouldn't have taken the risk on Tua.
Me and my coworkers were saying that I would not have. 35 million a year is what I would have given Jordan Love. You shown me 1 year on the field.
I would have rolled the dice on Jordan, not on Tua. Jordan showed me enough to take a gamble, maybe not that much of a gamble, but to take a gamble. Tua, it's Tua. He's limited. He's injury prone. He is one Tyreek Hill torn ACL away from being just plain old Tua. How old is Bobby Roode here? Like early 30s, mid 30s?
Late 30s.
Yeah, he's also got a signed guitar. Yeah.
Okay, so if he's late 30s here, I mean, I could see the age argument. I mean, he looks younger than that. He doesn't look it by any stretch. I mean, if you were to tell me he was 31, I would believe you.
Cap.
He's 48 now.
Yes.
Yes. The Black Sabbath rumor is true.
Oh, Bill.
They are 2024 to 2025. It's on my brother's tour page.
They're going to tour with the original lineup.
Yes, they're going to tour 2024 and 2025.
Holy shit balls.
And Cap, for you, Bobby Roode is 48 currently. This was 7 years ago.
41. I'm 41. If I look like him at my age, Jesus Christ.
Just you saying that, Nick, I've got Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, that guitar riff in my head.
Well, my brother's ecstatic because he owns an original 1978 tour jacket.
Oh.
Yeah. He's a massive Sabbath fan. My brother's way into music more than I am.
Sabbath,
I like music. He's way into music.
Sabbath, I would probably put, I wouldn't say, again, it's tough for me to separate the music fan in me from the guitar player in me. Guitar player in me, Sabbath, top 5 all time. Music person, I would probably put him more like top 15, top 20.
I always put Iron Maiden ahead of Black Sabbath. Just because.
Shut your mouth.
No. One, I got to see Iron Maiden in their very first stadium show in the UK in 2010 in Twickenham.
Now, I say that with all respect to Bruce Dick. I love me some Bruce Dickinson.
Watching 3 guitarists play the same riff, 1 bar apart, for 10 minutes is one of the most amazing things I have ever seen.
Yes, amazing, impressive, not Sabbath. I don't dislike Iron Maiden. I love Iron Maiden. Bruce Dickinson, to me, should be, whenever they do those lists, like top front man of all time.
The second greatest front man of all time behind Freddie Mercury.
Okay, now that's Now you're just overcooking the.
No, I'm not.
Overcooking the.
I've watched Bruce Dickinson at the age of 52 climb a 42-foot amplifier, sing
Yes,
the
Bruce
entire.
Dickinson
I
is-
haven't finished. Sing the entire of the Trooper in full British military regalia with a giant Union Jack in his hand that he climbed up said amplifier with to sing the song. He then, mid-track during the solo, leaps off said 40-foot amplifier, does a combat roll, and goes into a scream without missing a beat at the age of 51 years old.
All reasons why Bruce Dickinson should get so much more credit than he does.
Yes.
I will never shit on Bruce or Maiden, but they are not Sabbath.
Well, we will agree to disagree. And we're not talking about wrestling. We need to stop doing this.
Oy.
Right? It's an odd thing to point out, but Bobby Roode looks great in white boots.
I was
Yes.
about to say Bobby Roode wearing the white boots tonight.
Yeah, he looks great.
Well, it reminds me
in
of
white
when
boots.
Steve Austin first became Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he had white
Yes.
boots with black trunks.
Yes.
Very similar look.
Exactly.
Which
Well,
the very
I
first
always
Austin
said-
action figure that came out in 1997, if I remember correctly. The
97.
very first action figure, he
first
had the white
Mattel one.
boots.
Yeah. I've always said that Bobby Roode is a weird combination of stunning Steve Austin and late 90s Triple H.
I'll give you that. I see far more stunning Steve than Triple H, but I will not disagree with that.
Me and Nick might have to take you through a watch along of TNA to get
Yeah.
you to see early.
Oh, I
90s.
watched a lot of TNA in the. See, when did they? 2003, 2004, when they first came around.
2004, no, 2002 until 2000. Well, they're still going, so. But the original run kind of died in 2012.
I gave up on TNA 2014 was when I finally gave up on TNA. But from when they started to 24, I guess that 10, 12-year run, I watched them. But after 2014, I was just like, okay, I cannot.
We have a visitor.
Oh, Mr. Bigglesworth.
Hello, Mr. Bigglesworth.
I can be kicked in the nuts only so many times, Dixie Carter.
Yeah, then she hired Hulk Hogan.
Oh, this was after she hired Hogan.
That was so
She
stupid.
hired Hogan in 2010.
Yeah, it was so stupid.
Oy. Ooh.
Let's get rid of the one thing that makes the company different, the six-sided ring. That's a good idea.
Brother. Oh,
Yes, can I help you?
what's Maddie? Your cat's name's Rain.
Yep, Rain.
Hello,
That's
Ray.
why
Look, kitty. Look, another
the
kitty.
kitty.
He doesn't care. As far as he's concerned, he's the only cat in the world. Aren't you, buddy?
You know what? I'm pretty sure you think the same, huh?
Nah.
You're the only cat in the world, huh, Rain?
Cats are egotistical, non-clothing wearing.
Excuse me. Cats are just human beings with fur and no thumbs.
Exactly. Look at her, dude. Look
Just
at
like
him.
Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Look at him. He's so cute and fluffy.
I love the eyes on Bigglesworth. I do love the Bigglesworth eyes.
He's
The
amazing.
cold stare.
Takes after his dad.
Hence why
Meanwhile-
you are the perfect Bond villain.
Meanwhile, Rainey is just like her dad and is tired, sleeping most of the time, and just loves getting scratched behind the neck.
I'm going to be very
Oh no,
curious
he
if
likes
we
getting
actually
scratched under his chin.
if we
Look at her
actually
right
get
now.
that Shih Tzu. I'm going to be very curious to see how Maggie, 70-pound boxer, does with a 5-pound Shih Tzu.
Oh, I will tell you now, Cap. That Shih Tzu will be the boss of the house.
Please don't say this to me.
No. Right?
I,
We had a massive border collie,
okay.
like Lassie, right? But he was a blue merle, huge dog. And at the same time, we had a Pekingese. That Pekingese was the boss of the house. Because the big dogs don't know how to deal with small dogs that think they're big dogs. Little dogs don't know how big they are.
Shih Tzus, though, they're pretty reserved. Like.
Bro, I had a pit bull and a chihuahua.
Okay, chihuahuas are entirely different tail.
No. This chihuahua looked like the Taco Bell chihuahua. You know, Tu quiero Taco Bell?
Yeah, I grew up in the 90s. Yes, I remember these things.
Yeah, she looked identical to that. We had a purebred blue-nosed pit bull. And this chihuahua would make this pit bull hide under the coffee table.
Yeah. Little dogs will always rule the roost over big dogs. Do not ask me why. It's just nature.
I am the boss. You look like a rat. I am a rat. Fuck you.
Well, Maggie already doesn't hardly get off the couch anyway, so it won't be much of a difference.
She just won't give up her couch spot, but that'll be about it.
Yeah, Maggie's.
Well, she has two couch spots.
Maggie's like, Maggie is going to be like, I have lived here for this long. I at least have. That's where Daddy goes.
I'd like to point out, have you noticed, Kat, by the way, the pace of this match? Slightly faster.
Than the one.
Slightly faster, but
they've worked together.
They've worked together, and it's with purpose because Nakamura is showing urgency.
He's the challenger rather than the champion.
Yeah, he's showing urgency. He wants to get his belt back, and he knows he can't wrestle the same pace match he wrestled last time with Rude because it cost him.
I will also say, this is still WrestleMania weekend. I was not wrong about that. This is Mania weekend.
Yes, it is.
So they are trying to do a main event before WrestleMania 34.
What was the main event of 34?
34, that had Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. That had Roman Reigns.
Oh, the finisher spammer. The finisher spammer.
I think the main event was Roman Taker, right?
Yeah.
Roman. Yeah.
No. Was that
not a good rides away?
Not a good match.
No.
I don't think it was the main event because we also had
Roman Taker main event.
Rollins.
No, Roman Taker main evented.
Did they?
Yeah.
They brought Jim Ross out to do commentary.
It was 40 minutes long, and it was god awful.
Yes. Even Taker himself said he had no business being in the ring that night.
No, especially for that long.
Yeah, they tried to drag it out as one thing, but Jesus Christ.
The Hell of a Cell with Triple H, and then the year after with Punk, that was kind of the end of Taker's Mania run for me. Because from Lesnar on, he just never looked himself.
We know I am a
CM Punk. Him versus Bray was a good match.
No, it was. We know I am a CM Punk.
I'm talking like peak Mania Taker. Go ahead.
We know that I am a CM Punk mark. But one, that CM Punk match was the best match on that year's WrestleMania. Agreed. It should have main evented. And two, Punk should have beat him. Punk
should Brock have beat him? Should Punk have beaten him? Should Bray have beaten him?
Brock beating Taker turned Brock into the mythical final boss of WWE.
Unfortunately.
It really did. Imagine what that would have done for heel CM Punk.
You would have never shut him up in a good way.
Exactly.
Well, but also with Bray, had he dropped the streak to Bray, it would have made Bray. I mean, I get what you, but there's so many ways they could have gone there. They did it a year or two too early.
Vince just had a hard on for Brock Lesnar. Vince just has a hard on for Brock Lesnar. And
if you read the indictment, Brock has a hard on for other things.
Right. I'm not going to get into it.
Leave it there.
I'm not going to get into it because probably shouldn't talk about legal stuff on this channel.
Well, hence why I said I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
I love how Rude is wrestling this. Okay, he doesn't tower over Nakamura, but he realizes Nakamura's key are his legs. And he's going after the legs to keep Nakamura grounded, which typically a little man is going to do to a big man.
It's not just to keep him grounded, it's to take away his finisher. Take away the Kinshasa. Take away the Kinshasa. Take his knee out. He can't hit you in the face with it. By the way, did you know Kinshasa literally means knee to face in Japanese?
That's fucking hilarious.
I speak about as much Japanese as that bookcase over there. But my extent of Japanese is, watching the SNL skit where Mike Myers is a game show host with Chris Farley and Alec Baldwin. Kinshasa call the American embassy.
Kinshasa is also the capital and largest city of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Really?
Also, Rude is applying this figure 4 a bit. He's got the shin over the leg rather than the bottom of the knee.
Yeah, and who else applies a figure 4 leg look like that?
I was going to say Sean, but Sean Triple H. No one does it like Hogan, though. I mean, Hogan, when he put that figure 4 on Kevin Sullivan, I mean, that was just that was more of a spinning toe hold covered in vomit.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan was not a submission specialist, shall we say?
Yes, I agreed. Well, also Kevin Sullivan, 5'5", Hulk Hogan's 6'8", well, 6'4" since his back surgery, if you believe him. It's that Cotton Hill thing. He got his shins blown off.
Yeah.
Long legs versus short legs, not a good figure.
Don't forget, he lost an inch when Matsuda broke his leg on the first day of training in Japan.
So he's down from 6'8" to 6'2", 6'3" now. So he's losing it. Hey, Hulk's losing inches, whether it's here or in a courtroom. God damn it, Hulk. I love you, but just shut the fuck up. You're so full of shit.
Yeah, seriously. Just don't talk. Don't do interviews anymore. And it'll be great.
Just pose.
Just pose. Say, doesn't work for me, brother. Whenever anyone asks you, say anything and walk away.
Smile and wave, man. Smile and wave.
Oh, God. Oh, Terry. I mean, he discovered Kevin Owens, if you're to believe him.
Oh, yeah, of course he did. Even though Jim Cornette clearly discovered Kevin Owens.
He discovered Undertaker, too.
Yeah.
Because, Taker, he saw this big guy that they needed in this movie, Suburban Commando.
And also...
forget the fact Taker was already under contract.
And don't forget the fact that Taker dropped him on his head and injured his neck in their first match at SummerSlam.
Well, he gripped him too tight was what it was, brother.
Even though Hogan's head was a good 6 inches off the floor.
Yes. Well, no, Hogan said, no, brother, you didn't drop my head. You just gripped me too tight to where I couldn't move. It's like, brother.
Yeah, you were safe. What difference does it make?
Like, shut the fuck up, you bald bastard. Trying to lock. It seems, I mean, and again, correct me when I'm wrong on this, gentlemen, but it seems to me in Shinsuke's matches, guys are far more afraid of his arm bar than they are of his actual finisher.
Yes. That's because it's a Jujikatami. Now, what a lot of people don't know about Jujikatamis is you can't put them on without it hurting. If you over wrench on a Jujikatami, you'll pull someone's shoulder out. But there's no way to apply a Jujikatami painlessly.
Or you snap their elbow, one of the two.
Or hyperextend the bicep or the shoulder joint or something. Where are you going?
Not a move that's comfy to take.
No, not in the slightest.
Bobby Roode's got what, about 25, 30 pounds on Nakamura here? Somewhere in, I mean, it's not a great deal of difference, but it's like even like Shawn Michaels, like anytime he worked with, like, say he worked with Bret Hart or he worked with Austin, he still looked small.
Yeah.
But these two together, I mean, they don't look that far apart.
Well, they're not. I mean, Shinsuke's 6'2". I think Bobby Roode is...
I just had him pulled up.
3', 6'4".
Something like that.
I just had him pulled up.
Oh, there you go.
6'1".
Oh, there we go. So, no, they're about the same height then. If Nakamura's a little bit taller.
And Shinsuke stands at a whopping 6'2". So
There we go.
Nakamura's
Right
taller
about
by an
Shinsuke.
inch.
So he's got an inch on him.
Backstabber.
Shinsuke sold that like death.
Fuck taking a backstabber, by the way.
Well, with your back, yes.
With my back, no.
I mean, I wouldn't take the move if I could avoid it, but
Why you drop it there?
I just had an odd thought, fellas. A possible dream match we never got to see. Perk Angle versus Shinsuke.
Are we talking wrestling machine, Kurt Angle? Or
No,
are we
Perk
talking...
Angle.
No, he's talking 2010 to 2012.
I'm
Kurt
talking
Angle.
Perk Angle versus Shinsuke. I just had a thought that would have been something to behold.
Yeah,
Kurt would tell Shinsuke to lay that shit in because he couldn't feel it anyway.
Kurt couldn't feel anything for a few years. He was on that Brett Favre medicinal diet. Oh,
Gourd Buster.
Oh, sliding knee.
because I think Kurt and Eddie Guerrero worked so well together.
Yeah, they did.
Shinsuke reminds me a little bit of Eddie in sort of his fluidity, sort of the way he moves. I'm just thinking, like, man, Kurt and Shinsuke would have been something awesome.
I feel like Eddie was a little, I wouldn't even say a little, much more like acrobatic than Nakamura is. Nakamura is much more based.
He had agility and fluidity. I guess are the two words when I'm thinking.
If I can add another match to the AEW WWE Dream Card,
Okay.
Okada versus Nakamura.
Oh, the two leaders of Chaos?
Yeah.
Who's leading Chaos, by the way, anymore?
Nobody.
Chaos just devolved?
Chaos still exists. But technically, the highest ranking member is Tomohiro Ishii and Orange Cassidy.
Cassidy's part of Chaos?
Yeah, for about 2 years.
Okay.
Glorious DDT.
Okay.
Yeah, Chaos has fallen far, Matthew.
That makes me sad.
It makes me sad too.
Didn't Orange Cassidy recently fight a green screen or something like that?
Did he?
I can see it.
He fought a wrestler. The wrestler looked like a green, like a guy you'd see in like a green outfit for like a Marvel movie. For
so the
special
Invisible Man.
something like that. I saw it in passing on Twitter.
That I love some of that shit, but it needs to stay in PWG where it belongs.
Or DDT.
Or DDT. DDT is acceptable. Because DDT, they wrestle on roller coasters.
DDT, they wrestle on roller coasters. They wrestle on the fucking train transit.
Do you know where Kenny Omega took his first pinfall loss?
In DDT?
Yeah. Against Kota Ibushi in a fairground. Kota Ibushi did a Phoenix Splash off a popcorn machine. Kenny Omega was lying on a hot dog cart, and he pinned him on the hot dog cart.
I'm just sad Jordan Oliver's hurt. Like my one indie darling that I kept up with is now hurt for a better part of a year.
Well, he tore his ACL, so.
Yes.
Right, by the way, what is with Wish Axiom in AEW? Or Wish Ricochet in a match?
Hologram?
Yeah, Wish Ricochet in a match.
Here's the thing. Do you know who that is?
No.
Oh my God. What's his fucking name? Aries from MLW.
It's Aries
Yeah.
from GCW.
From
The guy who wore all the
GCW,
face paint.
MLW.
The
Yeah.
guy with the furry boots and the face paint.
The guy that really works well with fucking Gringo Loco. Yeah, they put him in a mask.
Well, I knew he was wrestling Gringo, so I knew it had to be a GCW kid, but I didn't know who it was.
It's
Big
Eddie.
spine buster.
Yeah, the luchador Eddies.
Okay.
So
Why the hell? Why call him hologram? It's a stupid gimmick.
Hold on. Is Enemies trademarked anywhere?
Yeah, apparently Tony Khan is over the moon about hologram.
Well, he had a phenomenal.
No. Cap, there's a reason for that.
The dude is very talented. The dude is very talented. He's Wish Ricochet, but he's very, very talented.
Enemies is incredibly talented.
I should have figured it was him from when he did the standing on Gringo's shoulder spot.
Mm-hmm. So here's the
thing. He does that all the time.
Because I saw his match with Gringo, and I was like, this all looks familiar.
That's what I was like.
Confirmed. So yeah,
that's what I was like. Okay.
It wasn't like Mr. America or the Giant Machine. I don't
like the solid, rectangle mouth.
No, it's weird.
It looks so bad. I will say
I don't like the mask. I don't like the mask. Period. It looks like a discount Power Ranger.
I will say he's fantastic, though. He is.
He's a phenomenal talent.
And if they're trying to actually build him,
boom,
he could be a legitimate top level. Oh, tornado, glorious DDT,
and we are done.
1, 2, 3.
Right, Cap. That was NXT Orlando. What did you think?
I liked the tag match despite it being triple team hoo-ha. Aleister Black, first NXT match of his I've seen. Rude and Nakamura, as much as I like the first one, I like this one almost as much, maybe even better.
Yeah, this one's tremendous.
We got 2 more shows coming up.
Yes, we do. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. We've been here for 3 hours and 27 minutes and 50 seconds.
Do you want to run through the matches to hit that 3.5 hour mark?
No, we're good. We're good.
No.
All right, ladies and gents, that's the show. If you like what we do here at Wrestling Legion, if you enjoy the content we put out, please subscribe to the channel and join the Legion. It's a big help. It's free, and it's the only way the YouTube algorithm knows we exist. I've been Nick the Geek. That's been Matty. That's been the Captain. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Oh, and just remember, we are but 3 geeks obsessed with a good show. And our opinion means nothing without yours. Comments below. See you next time.